Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Nu știu încă de unde am venit, ce caut aici. Plecam cu coada între picioare, acum mă scap de afiș. N-aveam răbdare să ascult deloc, acum taci și răspund după ce înțeleg ce-ai zis. Se simte timpul cum trece sau noi cum trece prin timp. Trăiesc momentul de față ca să-mi creez amintiri. Țin de familie, de prieteni, de cine-i loial, loial. Restul voia sorții, scuze, mă cheamă propriul destin. Totuși te simt, o singură șansă avem cu sorii. Simplim focul deschis, e mult mai greu când ai un scop de atins. Te uiți pe lângă tine, vezi cine a supraviețuit. Câți din ei se luptă să trăiască cum ar trebui. O inimă mare, doi plămâni ca să respir. O inimă mare mă inspiră zi de zi. Fă din șansa ta un vis, fă din șansa ta un vis împlinit. Fiindcă avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. De ale, de ale, de ale, dar ce ale, 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 nu știu ce să aleg, dar ce ale, 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 ale. Nu te teme de moarte că nu-ți mai trăiești viața. Pune zâmbetul pe față dimineața. Du-te, ia legume fresh, fă-ți viața. Pune doar ce trebuie în trupul ăla ca un rasa. Niște mișcare ca să ungă carcasa. Binecuvântare nu e lumea prea razna. Alegerile noastre ne fac să simțim asta. Atât de multe drumuri eu, yeah. De ale, de ale, de ale, de ale, dar ce ale, 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 ale.
Știi, avem o singură viață și nu
știu ce să aleg.
merită să ne stresăm în fiecare zi pentru toate mizeriile.
Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. One life, one life, one life, one life, one life. One life, one life, one life, one life. Learn it, love it, live it. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Nu știu încă de unde am venit, ce caut aici. Plecam cu coada între picioare, acum mă scap de afiș. N-aveam răbdare să ascult deloc, acum taci și răspund după ce înțeleg ce-ai zis. Se simte timpul cum trece sau noi cum trece prin timp. Trăiesc momentul de față ca să-mi creez amintiri. Țin de familie, de prieteni, de cine-i loial, loial. Restul voia sorții, scuze, mă cheamă propriul destin. Totuși te simt, o singură șansă avem cu sorii. Simplim focul deschis, e mult mai greu când ai un scop de atins. Te uiți pe lângă tine, vezi cine a supraviețuit. Câți din ei se luptă să trăiască cum ar trebui. O inimă mare, doi plămâni ca să respir. O inimă mare mă inspiră zi de zi. Fă din șansa ta un vis, fă din șansa ta un vis împlinit. Fiindcă avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. De ale, de ale, de ale, dar ce ale, 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 ale. de morte că nu-ți mai trăiești viața. Pune zâmbetul pe față dimineața. Du-te, ia legume fresh, fă-ți viața. Pune doar ce trebuie în trupul ăla ca un rasa. Niște mișcare ca să ungă carcasa. Binecuvântare nu e lumea prea rasna. Alegerile noastre ne fac să simțim asta. Atât de multe drumuri eu, de alei, de alei, de alei, de alei. Dar ce alei, 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 alei.
Știi, avem o singură viață și
Nu
nu
știu
prea
ce să aleg.
merită să ne stresăm în fiecare zi pentru toate mizeriile.
Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuzie.
Hi and welcome everyone to another deadline stream on this channel just before Gaming 21 on Fantasy Premier League. Thanks a lot for joining so early. Yeah, a lot of deadlines in quick succession. Thanks a lot for joining Spidey, Chandri Balu, Herlotsvile, Not Nepo. Thanks a lot guys for joining so early into this stream. Very quick, Ballard or Wilson. Yeah, so again, I'm going to try to be quick. Again, with Ballard, I'm just not sure if he's available. I need to watch all the press conferences. I think that we got a lot of them today. I'm not sure if they talked about Ballard, but probably I think that I would just play Wilson, I think, instead of playing Ballard real quick. But again, if you want, we can discuss a little bit about that after we watch. We see all the press conferences and I make a clear idea if Ballard is going to start or not. Spidey, thanks a lot for joining. What a crazy week in the league. Yeah, yeah, it was a crazy week with a lot of holes for Declan Rice, for Chow, for Thiago. So at least I'm happy that I got one of those holes with Igor Thiago. What a legend. Hat-trick, an open play hat-trick. Can you imagine Thiago scoring 3 goals and none of them were penalties? Both are available. Okay, so Sunderland are playing against Brentford, right? Yeah. I think that I would start Ballard probably. But again, I'm not sure what to expect from Chelsea with the new manager. I think that they appointed Liam Rossiter for the remaining of the season. I'm not sure what to expect from Chelsea. I don't think that they are again, we saw Fulham, we saw Wilson scoring against Liverpool. Usually Chelsea, probably I would just play Ballard. Quick answer. Chandri Balu, thanks a lot for joining. Did Hincapie to Timber, thoughts? Raya, Timber, Mukiele, O'Reilly. So again, what probably you couldn't afford to go for Gabriel, but yeah, if you wanted to sell Hincapie, I would have tried to buy Gabriel from Arsenal instead of buying Timber. But again, I think that Timber is a fine option. Again, probably not the best time to buy an Arsenal defender when they are going to play against Liverpool. But yeah, Timber long term, I think that he's a great defender. I just think that Gabriel is better. But yeah, other than that, good luck to you, Chandri Balu. O'Reilly is looking okay. Mukiele is okay. Saka, Bruno Guimaraes, Cherky, Anderson, Cunha, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Haaland. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that team looks great. Looks decent on paper. Bench 1, Raul, Jimenez, Wirtz, and Wilson. Okay, so bench 1. Raul Jimenez against Chelsea, Wirtz against Arsenal away, and Wilson against Chelsea. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Hello Vile, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Now Raul is the only one on penalties. So I think that I think that I would play Raul Jimenez. And between Wirtz, Florian Wirtz and Wilson, yeah, tough decision. I'm biased. I'm biased here, Hellosvile. I'm going to be honest. I would play probably Florian Wirtz in my team, but probably it makes more sense to play Wilson. But at the same time, Wirtz, you're paying 8+ millions to have Wirtz into your team. I would probably just start Wirtz, I think. because on his day we know that he can do something. Now again, maybe you have three defenders from Arsenal. In that case, probably I would just bench Wirtz if you're hoping Arsenal are going to keep a clean sheet against Liverpool. Hi Kaiser, thanks a lot for joining. 14 people already on the stream. Thanks a lot, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. It would be really much appreciated. Sorry I can't stay for long, military stuff. No problem, not Nevo. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. It really means a lot. Stay here how much you can. Again, you're not forced to stay here. Bench 1, Semenyo, Foden, Wilson or Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So Dominic Calvert-Lewin is playing against Newcastle, I think, away, right? So probably I would just bench Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It sounds crazy, probably, with his goal-scoring form. I would play Foden, definitely. I would play Semenyo, definitely. Probably the last game you're going to get Semenyo. So I would play Semenyo and Foden, for sure. And between Wilson and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, probably I would play Dominic Calvert-Lewin still and bench Wilson in that case. Kaiser. Hi Hashiro, thanks a lot for joining. Really good to see you here again. Hi Denis, Minte, Semenyo, Voltemad replacement 5 transfer pending. Okay, so you have 5 transfers. If you're not in a rush to sell Voltemad, again, if I was in your situation, probably I would just keep Voltemad for another week because Wissa started the last 2 game weeks for Newcastle, and surely Voltemad is going to start this one at home against Leeds. Now again, his minutes probably are not going to be great. So again, if you're on this strategy, if you made up your mind that you want to sell Voltemad, then yeah, let's see some replacements. But if not, I would try to keep, and also I would probably I would just keep Semenyo for one more game week. The same Hashiro. Probably this is going to be the last game for Semenyo. But yeah, Minte is a sell. So 5 transfers pending. Now, if we talk about midfielders, I'm not so sure how many midfielders you have from Arsenal, but if not, Declan Rice probably is pretty much a no-brainer for the future. I think that he's a good one. Other than that, Foden, Palmer, Bruno Fernandes probably I wouldn't buy him right now. Other than that, it really depends how much money you have, Hashiro, to make those transfers. Because other than Declan Rice, I don't see a lot of outstanding midfielders at the moment to buy. Probably Gordon is a good one, considering that Murphy and Elanga are probably out for this game in Gaming 21. So probably Gordon is one interesting option. If we talk about forwards, there is a completely different situation. Again, Erling Haaland, probably you have him already. Thiago is okay for his price. Again, he scored the hat-trick. I know that it was amazing. I'm an owner of Thiago, really happy about that. He's not going to score a hat-trick every game week. He's not going to get a penalty every game week. But I think that he's a decent option, let's say, for that price. You don't need to rip up your squad to buy Igor Thiago. The same goes for Declan Rice. But other than Haaland, Thiago, Bowen maybe, but again, I can't really advise you to buy Bowen at the moment. So I would just with the strikers, there is a really interesting situation right now. We have someone like Mane from Wolverhampton, who's 4.5 millions, who I think that he could be a great option. I think that a lot of people are going to move into this strategy of, I don't know, having more money into the defense, into the midfield, playing with cheaper strikers. Mane, Krupi Juniors could be an option. Barnes from Burnley at 4.2 millions, he could be a nice option. With Krupi Juniors, Semenyo is going to go, I think, from Bournemouth. Kluivert is injured, and I think that he's going to miss for a long period of time. So Krupi Juniors could be a really nice option for that price. And probably I would just tank that spot, Hashiro, if you want to sell Voltemart. Other than that, you're not buying Ekitike right now, you're not buying Bone, you're not buying Wissa. Other strikers, probably Mateta, if you really want to buy a striker on penalties for Crystal Palace. But yeah, maybe you don't want to go back there. Sup peeps, hi Gavin Hartzenberg, thanks a lot for joining. Hi Biplov Tapa, thanks a lot, really good to see you guys again. 70 people on this live stream, amazing. Thanks a lot guys for joining so early. So yeah, Hashiro, if you want me to give a better advice, let me just know how much money you have to spend on midfielders. How many players from Arsenal do you have? The thing is, for my own team, let's just move to my team. Where is it? Here it is. So I have Rogers is again a decent one. Enzo Fernandez is going to be a decent one. This is my midfield at the moment. Rogers, Cunha, Foden, Soboslai. I wouldn't advise you to buy Soboslai at the moment. Definitely against Arsenal. Now my plan for my midfield is at some point to get back Bruno Fernandes. We're going to discuss about Man United. They sacked Amorim. They're going to have and how that's going to impact the picks in FPL. But my strategy would be to try to be in a position to buy Cole Palmer, to buy Bruno Fernandes, and pretty much that's it. And maybe downgrade one of Thiago Ekitike in the future to be able to make those moves. So yeah, Enzo Fernandez, Palmer, Bruno Fernandes, these players are going to be really interesting for me in the future. But let's see how these game weeks are going to go. Hi Rupesh, Gautam, wildcard team. We can try to make a wildcard team if you want, but just wait some minutes to answer all the questions, and then we can play with the wildcard draft. Honestly, I didn't thought so much about it, but yeah, we're going to do that. Football Fun Fantasy, thanks a lot for joining. Zayat talks Gravenberch or Krupi to play. I would play Krupi, I think. I think that I would play Krupi Juniors instead of Gravenberg. Hello, bro. Bench Ekitike for this week. Play him versus Burnley and then sell. Maybe. Again, maybe I'm going to bench also Ekitike. I didn't made up my mind yet. Again, at the moment, that would be also my plan. Now you don't see the fixtures, but again, Liverpool are going to play against Burnley Gaming 22. I would just keep Ekitike just for that fixture alone, and then if you want, you could sell. But somehow I don't know. It's looking like Liverpool and Ekitike are going to do really fine. Then it's Bournemouth, Newcastle City, Sunderland, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Wolverhampton. So there is a world where I can see myself keeping Ekitike. Now at the moment, I don't think that I'm going to keep Ekitike long term, but let's see how it's going to go. One user like that, thanks a lot for joining. O'Brien or Mikolenko, please, to buy. O'Brien or Mikolenko. I mean, I don't think that I would go for O'Brien or Mikolenko. If you want to buy an Everton defender, probably I would just go for Tarkovsky. But since you're asking me between those two, I don't know. The thing is, none of those options are attacking defenders, and none of them are really amazing for defensive contributions. If we go here for Mikolenko, probably I would go for Mikolenko, slightly more attacking defender, I would say. If we look also for O'Brien, yeah, I think that from between O'Brien and Mikolenko, probably I would go for Mikolenko. But the thing is, they are pretty expensive, and I think that there are better options elsewhere, honestly. So that's the thing. They are both 4.9 millions. Yeah, I don't think that I would go for either of them. Honestly, I would just find some money and go for Tarkovsky, who is better for attacking threat and for defensive contributions. But yeah, if you need to pick one, probably Mikolenko slightly. I sold Minte for Garner this week, carrying over 2 free transfers. Nice, interesting option. Good luck, Gavin Hartzenberg. Hopefully that's going to work out for you. I think that, again, for me, I have just 1 free transfer. It is really good to roll the transfers because at some point in the next 2-3 game weeks, we're going to need to find a way to buy Bruno Fernandes, to buy maybe Cole Palmer, maybe some Chelsea defenders. A lot of swings are going to happen. So for me, it's easy. Just roll the transfer. For this game week. I could have brought Gabriel. I have a lot of money, but I think Timber will be more involved versus Liverpool. Yeah, but again, fair enough. I think that Timber, I mean, I can't really say that Timber is a better pick against Liverpool or not because Liverpool are really bad at set pieces and Gabriel just scored back-to-back goals. I just think that Gabriel overall is a defender you will want to have Luca de Gabriel in your team basically until the end of the season. I think that he's the best defender in FPL. Good defensive contributions, clean sheets, goal threat, everything you want in the defender pretty much is Gabriel. So I would try to find a way at some point maybe to downgrade Raya and buy Gabriel in the future. Govin Dragovizami, thanks a lot for joining. Should I take a -4 move out Stack or Jorginho for who? If not, who should I start? So Stack or Jorginho, who to start? Now, yeah, with Jorginho, I don't know. I don't think that I would take the -4 right now. I think that I would just roll with that team because at least you have at least one of them is going to start, right? And probably I would start Stark, I think, instead of Jorginho, just because I'm not sure if Jorginho is going to start. And anyway, he's going to play against Man City, right? So I think that I would play Stark and roll the transfer and make some other moves next game. Govin, that helps. Thank you. Minted to Rice and rolling probably then. Thanks a lot, Hashiro. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Now, with Rice, I know that a lot of people are going to think that he's essential or something like that, and maybe he is right. I'm going to look stupid if I'm going to say that Rice is not an amazing option. Again, I think that he's a good option. I just don't think that you should rip up your team to buy Rice. But if you probably the best trio from Arsenal at the moment is Gabriel, Timber, and Rice. For me, I just think that double Arsenal defense is the way to go still, since someone like Bukayo Saka probably is not worth the money, right? And Declan Rice is looking like he's just that peak at that price. I think that he's great value, good for defensive contributions on some set pieces. He has decent attacking threat. He's nailed. He pretty much plays all the games for Arsenal. So again, I can't really argue. I think that Rice is a good pick to have overall. Is this the best gaming to have Rice against Liverpool? I'm not sure, but maybe, I guess. He's going to get some defensive contributions. Liverpool were pretty terrible this season, so yeah, why not, I guess. Hi, Alex Kewo. Thanks a lot for joining. What do you think Foden captaincy this gaming? I mean, I don't mind it, but again, always, if you're going to ask me between Erling Haaland or Phil Foden for the captaincy, I'm always going to say Erling Haaland because I just think that he has more, not more routes to points, although he's on penalties, Erling Haaland, so maybe he has more routes to points. He's the main, the focal point in that team, Manchester City. Could Foden outscore Haaland? Of course, it could happen. But for me, Haaland is the best captaincy this week. And yeah, I'm just not going to go with the headache. If you want to go different, yeah, Phil Foden is great. He blanked in the last four. In the other four gamings, he scored, I don't know, double-digit goals in every gaming. So he's a really unpredictable player. But Haaland also blanked in the last few gamings. So yeah, I think that Haaland is better, but if you want a differential, it could work out. Brighton, I don't think that Brighton are Burnley or anything else. So again, I still think that Man City are going to win comfortably this game, but I'm not sure if they're going to score 5 goals or anything else. Hi Dexter, thanks a lot for joining. What to do with Ekitike? 2 free transfers, 0.1 minutes in the bank, bench Miley, Konate, Guyu. With Ekitike for me, again, in my case scenario, I have a lot of good players on the bench. As you can see, I can just bench Ekitike. Personally, I think that Ekitike is going to start, but clearly there is a doubt around him. I think that I would be leaning to just keep Ekitike in most cases, just because of that fixture in Gaming 22 against Burnley at home. And then if you want to sell him, fair enough. Bench Miley, Konate, Guyu. I think that yeah, with you with Ekitike, I would just probably start Ekitike and first on the bench. If Miley is first on the bench, is pretty okay. You have also Konate, so yeah, I would just keep Dexter. I think that I would just keep Ekitike. Your bench is pretty strong. Hi bro, hi Waris Manji, thanks a lot for joining. Do you think João Pedro will start? Now it doesn't really matter that much what I think. I think that yes, but clearly there are some doubts around his minutes. The lab could play there. They have a new manager, Chelsea. So again, it's pretty much nonsense to assume how they are going to line up. But I'm still expecting João Pedro to start. But again, that's just my opinion. Hi, Mr. Blanky. Thanks a lot for joining. Bench one, Gunner or Anderson. If we're talking about Anderson from Nottingham Forest, probably just a second, let me just see. So Everton are playing against Wolverhampton. Probably I would just play Gardner for the upside. I think that he's slightly more attacking than Anderson. So yeah, probably I would bench Anderson. Hi Mustafa Hassan, thanks a lot for joining. Alderete or Mukiele, heard Ballard is back, so Mukiele will be moved to right back. Is that true? Uh, yeah, I also heard that Ballard is back. If Mukiele is going to be moved to right back, in terms of defensive contributions, if that is your concern, Mukiele is getting defensive contributions pretty much every game week, and if he's going to play as a right back, I don't think that's such a big downside to him. So I would still go for Mukiele. Even if you're asking me which one to play, which one to buy, I think that Mukiele is a slightly better pick than Alderete. And also he's going to have more attacking threat if he's going to play as a right back. So yeah. Hi Khalid, are you going to sell Sobo to Rice? No, no way. Soboslai is going to play against Burnley. Again, do I think that Declan Rice is a better pick for this game? Yeah, they are going to play against each other. I think that Declan Rice is slightly a better pick than Soboslai, but I don't think that's worth one of my transfers to do that. And I just want to have 2 free transfers next game week to be open to sell someone like Cunha to Palmer, to Enzo Fernandez, to other midfielders if possible. And to do that, I need to have 2 free transfers for next game week. So that's the reason why I'm not going to sell Soboslai. Again, at the moment, it's looking like Soboslai was a pretty bad pick from me, but he's still on penalties until Salah is going to come back from African Cup of Nations. He's still taking some set pieces, some corners, some free kicks. So I don't think that Soboslai is such a horrible pick. Now again, he's playing against double Arsenal in my team, so that's not great. But again, if Liverpool are going to get a penalty, Soboslai is on penalties. So I'm just going to keep him for the next 2 for sure, for sure. Um, hi Batman, thanks a lot for joining. Any news about Paqueta, Krejic? Yeah, we're going to move to see the press conferences. I think that they said something about Paqueta, but just wait a minute and we're going to do that. Minte to Garner. I like that. I mean, I'm not so sure why so many people are so interested in Garner, but I think that he's a decent one. I think that he takes some set pieces for Everton, and pretty much that's it. But I don't think that Everton are such an amazing offensive side to. But the new manager will start from FA Cup. Uh, no, they have a new manager. They have Liam Rossiter, Chelsea. So yeah, he's going to start from now. Liam Rossiter. Now, if we move to Twitter, let's just take a look at some press conferences. I think that also the new Darren Fletcher, or who's the new interim manager for Manchester United, is going to have a press conference 1 hour before the deadline, something like that. So we're going to see that live on stream from Burnley. I don't think that a lot of people are going to be interested in this news, but yeah. Aston Villa. Pau Torres and Tyrone Mings will be assessed ahead of the Crystal Palace game. Onana and Barkley are sidelined. Okay. From Everton, Kevin Dewsbury Hall is still out. Alcaraz is still out. Brentwaite is still out, although I'm not so sure when Brentwaite is going to be back. So Michael Keane, for anyone that is interested in buying him, again, he for the next 2, I think that he's okay. After that, I'm not so sure when Braithwaite is going to be back. So just be aware that if you want to buy Keane, I think that he's okay for this gaming. Definitely, he's one of the best picks you can have there. Talking about defenders, but after that, he's not going to be an amazing pick after Brentwaite is going to be back. From Fulham, no major news. Muniz, Tete, King are out. Sessegnon could be in contention. Um, from Wolverhampton, nothing interesting. Chris Richards, if you still have him, I still think that I would just keep him at the moment if you still have him into your team, and just be aware that he's not going to start against Aston Villa. He's going to be on the bench probably. Klein is out. Hi FBI, thanks a lot for joining. Start Ekitike or Wilson. I only have Timber plus Rice from Arsenal. Also, who should be first sub, Gay or Wilson slash Ekitike? I mean, Ekitike or Wilson. I think that I would risk starting Ekitike, hoping that I think that if Ekitike is fit, I think that he's going to start that game against Arsenal. And if he's going to start, he's okay. He's okay. He could score, yeah, of course he can. Wilson could score against Chelsea, yes, of course. But I just prefer to have more Ekitike. And between Gay and Wilson, I think that I would just put Gay there just because I don't know. I still trust that Crystal Palace defense. I still think that Gay could be decent for defensive contributions, and he still has some attacking threat, right? Gay is not like he's he doesn't have any attacking threat at all. Hi Dennis, how are you? Doing good? Yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot for asking, Emery Farm. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Yeah, really good. Enjoying the holidays in Romania. We are free until Thursday, so yeah, I'm still enjoying the free days. After that, yeah, I'm not so sure how I'm going to go back to work after all uh, this free period. Iraola confirmed he would have Antoine Semenyo available for Game Week 21, but probably this is going to be the last game. As I said before, for Bournemouth, this is the latest news. And also, Clivert has undergone knee surgery. So, probably Clivert is going to be out for a long period of time. Now, what does that mean in terms of FPL? Someone like Tavernier, after Semenyo also is going to go, he's going to be on penalties probably, and he's pretty much a really good option at that price, I think. Tavernier. His mates are going to be better. Now, of course, Bournemouth could just sign another player after they're going to lose Semenyo, but Krupi Juniors, Tavernier are going to be decent picks, I think from Bournemouth. Now, again, their attack is going to be weakened. Also, they're going to lose Cliver, they're going to lose Semenyo. So, again, for Manchester City, we got a lot of news. If you missed it, Guardiola is going to be out probably for the rest of the season. Ruben Diaz also is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. So if you have I don't know, players like O'Reilly, Mateus Nunes, they are going to be nailed pretty much, guarantees. But Man City are going to be a weaker defense probably without all these players. Do I wildcard? I have just sent my team on Twitter. I'm going to look at your team and then I'm going to tell to you if you need to wildcard, but probably not. Hey Dennis, do I captain Cunha or Haaland? I'm just going to captain Haaland, but Cunha probably would be my second best captaincy option if you want to go super different. Toj, again, I just think that Haaland is the best captaincy option this gaming, but if you want to go different, nothing wrong with going with Cunha. Is Man City gonna win this week without Guardiola and Diaz? How do you think? Again, it doesn't matter that much for me in terms of FPL if they are going to win or not. I just hope that my players Foden and Haaland are going to do well. Uh, and again, could they win? Of course. Are they going to concede against Brighton? There is a high possibility. I would say definitely they're going to be a weaker defense without Guardiola, without Ruben Dias. But Man City still have decent players, so I still think that they're going to win against Brighton. But let's see what's going to happen. From Sunderland, Ballard came through his comeback. Reinildo is still. Uh, he could be available, I think. Reinildo for Gaming 21. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much with Ballard. If you still hold held Ballard through all this period. Probably you're just going to keep him right now. From Chelsea, Sanchez and Cucurella will train today, so they are pretty much back. Now with Chelsea, they are going to have a new manager, so yeah, we don't know how exactly they are going to line up. Liam Rossenior, we talked about him. Newcastle, the thing with Newcastle is that Jacob Murphy is going to, I don't know, he's a doubt for Gaming 21. The same goes for Elanga. So if you have players like Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon, I would just play them for Newcastle. Like your stream, appreciate your honest opinions. Thanks a lot, Dragovin. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really good to see you here. Probably you're the first time here on the stream. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for liking. Thanks a lot. If you enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button. But again, I'm always going to give you my honest opinion, and I'm trying to help. Again, I'm not an expert or anything else. I'm just a guy who gives advice on Fantasy Premier League. But yeah, I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate the support. Thanks a lot. Minte has a minor chance. Yeah, okay, so pretty much that's it. From Leeds, if you kept Rodon, he's close, so probably I would just keep him now. From Spurs, Kudus will most likely miss Gaming 21. Okay, so that's bad news if you've gone for Kudus. So let's see if you send me some teams. Uh, 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 uh. So Batman, you asked me about if you need a wild card. So Milenkovic, Hall, Collins, Pickford, Wirtz, Stack, Paqueta, Nico Gonzalez, Haaland, Bone, Ekitike, Lacroix. Yeah, I don't think that you need a wild card. Again, if you want to use your wild card, if you didn't activate it already, probably I would say you don't need to use it. But again, considering your picks, you have Pickford, Hall, Collins, Haaland, Bowen, Paqueta, even someone like Lacroix. All these players are pretty much decent for this gaming. I think that I would try to delay the wild card, honestly, with your team. But I agree with you. Stack, Paqueta, these are doubts. Ekitike is a doubt, but if Ekitike is going to be back for Burnley, then yeah, I don't think that you need a wild card. You're going to have Florian Wirtz, Ekitike, Virgil van Dijk against Burnley in Gaming 22. So I think that I would delay the wild card maybe until Gaming 24 if you really want to use your wild card early. Start to Raya, Roofs, Saliba, and Florian Wirtz. Start to, I mean, yeah, between Raya and I think that I think that I would be tempted to start Roofs from the goalkeeper from Sunderland instead of Raya. I think that he's slightly better, but again, depending if you have, I don't know, someone like Thiago and you don't want him to play against Thiago, probably I think that individually Roofs is a little bit better. I can see Arsenal keeping a clean sheet against Liverpool, so don't get me wrong, guys, but I think that there's also a slightly little chance Liverpool can score in that game against Arsenal. And between Saliba and Florian Wirtz, that's really tough. Uh, It's either you're going to go with Raya and Saliba or you're going to go with Roofs and Florian Wirtz. Now, I think that I would just start Florian Wirtz, honestly. Again, we're talking about uh, Saliba. He's not amazing for defensive contribution. He has a slightly good chance of keeping a clean sheet, I guess, against Liverpool. But if not, yeah, I would just go for Florian Wirtz. I think football fun fantasy, but again, I'm biased. Maybe I'm a Liverpool fan, so take that into consideration also. I have the worst team, but thank you. I will keep the wild card. I mean, not the worst team. I mean, your defense is okay. Your defense is really okay. Collins, Hall, Pickford, all these three players are pretty good, I think. Other than that, yeah, Wirtz is not amazing against Arsenal. Stach is not amazing. Paqueta, if he's starting, he's okay. Nico Gonzalez, again, not amazing. But yeah, if you can make some transfers, maybe sell someone like Minte, maybe do some other stuff, your team would look better. I have Shade. Yeah, okay, so you have Shade. I mean, again, if you want to start Raya and Saliba, if you think that Arsenal are really likely to keep a clean sheet against Liverpool, just start Raya and Saliba and don't have Roofs and Wirtz playing against your defenders and Shade against Roofs. But individually, I think that Roofs is better. And if we compare Saliba to Wirtz, I just think that Wirtz has the better upside. I mean, if one of them is likely to score, I think that is going to be Florian Wirtz. But yeah, that's up to you, definitely. Best Wirtz replacement. Uh, there's also a world where I can see, I don't know, keeping Wirtz for that fixture against Burnley if you had him for this long period of time. The obvious one probably is Declan Rice, I guess. But that price, I think that he's great. Other than that, in the future, I would like to have Cole Palmer. I would like to have Bruno Fernandes. But for Gaming 21, if we're talking about Gaming 21, I I don't know. I think that is still okay to keep Wirtz for this fixture. Is he going to score a hat-trick against Arsenal away? Probably not, probably not, but I think that he's decent. Other than that, let's also look at the team for Spidey, and then we're going to discuss a little bit about some midfielders. One free transfer, 0.2 minutes in the bank. I'm just looking to roll. Yeah, this is an easy roll. Looking at your team, yeah, I really like the picks. I really like Gordon for this week, especially Cunha, Foden. Good luck if you're going to captain Cunha. Good luck. Uh, and then yeah, Rice. Yeah, yeah, this is a roll. This is definitely a roll. Don't need to use your transfers. Um, so the Man United press conference is going to be real soon, and I wanted to. It's really funny that Chelsea appointed the manager for 6 years. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, hopefully, he's going to be for Chelsea, at Chelsea for the next 6 years. But I really doubt it, considering how they were. So again, looking at midfielders, projected points for Gaming 21 from Solio, Rob TFPL. If you want to watch, follow him on Twitter. As I said before, midfielders for this gaming, there aren't a lot of them. Shade, Semenyo, I wouldn't buy him. Uh, Foden, Cunha is good, but after this gaming, he's not that good. So yeah, probably again Gordon. I really like him. Radu Gavriluță for this gaming with the doubts around Murphy, around Elanga. I think that Gordon is a really nice shout. But yeah, other than that, let's just take a look at some midfielders. So replacements for Florian Wirtz, let's say 9 millions. Rice is the obvious one. Foden, Cunha is nice for this gaming. Bruno Guimaraes is okay, I guess. If you want to go for a Newcastle midfielder, well, probably I would just go for Anthony Gordon. Cherky is still okay. Enzo Fernandez, I think that he's nice long term. Rogers is okay, but Crystal Palace away not the best fixture. Gaming 21. Shade is still okay. And yeah, other than that, pretty much that's it. Tavernier could be a nice option after Gaming 24, or if you want to buy him early, he could be nice. Clivert just got a surgery, so Clivert is going to be out for a long period of time, so that makes Tavernier at 5.6 millions a pretty much locked-in penalty taker for Bournemouth. He's really good for defensive contributions also, so he's a shout also. But yeah, pretty much that's it. 1 years and he's out. Yeah, probably. Let's see if he can survive until the summer. Probably he is, right? Is Bruno starting? Man United are going to have a press conference in half an hour or in an hour before the deadline anyway. So I'm going to let you know if Bruno would be starting. yeah, I would like to have Bruno Fernandes against Burnley with the new manager, with Amorim out. I think that Bruno Fernandes is going to play as a number 10. So if he was a decent FPL pick playing as a defensive midfielder, now just imagine how good he's going to be playing as a number 10, because I think that he's the best attacking midfielder from Manchester United. And I think that anyone who's going to come in for Manchester United as a manager, he's going to play Bruno Fernandes in a more advanced role, and that's going to be nice. But again, after that, he's going to play against City and Arsenal, I think. So for me, for my team, I'm just going to wait to buy Bruno Fernandes probably in gimmick 24 and not earlier because of the fixtures. But yeah, if he's going to start against Burnley, he's decent. He's decent. Yeah, I'm going to let you know, Radu Gavriluța. Um if Darren Fletcher is going to tell us anything. I'm not sure whether Arsenal will keep a clean sheet or not, so I am in doubt. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. I have also Szoboszlai, so I wouldn't mind Arsenal not keeping a clean sheet if Szoboszlai is going to score a penalty or a free kick. Now, for my team, uh, I think that I'm more likely to play Lacroix here instead of Alderete. Anyway, whichever defender I'm going to play, Lacroix is going to play against Rogers, Alderete is going to play against Thiago, so it's not the best case scenario for me. I'm not expecting, honestly, an amazing gaming for my team, but yeah, I think that this is how I'm going to play. I'm not sure if Ekitike is going to start or not. I think that Anderson is a perfectly good player to play for this gaming against West Ham away. Hopefully he can get some defensive contributions. But yeah, this is likely how I'm going to line up. Dorgu, hopefully he can play one more gimmick for me. Who knows, maybe even Man United are going to keep a clean sheet against Burnley with the new manager. Um, who to put first in the bench, Gudmundsson or Anderson? So Gudmundsson against Newcastle or Anderson against Chelsea? For what's worth, I think that both of them are going to concede. Um, Leeds are going to play against Newcastle away, so I think that this is going to be a really tough fixture for Leeds. I think that they're going to concede, and Fulham are going to play at home against Chelsea. I would just play Anderson just because of that, probably, and because Fulham are playing at home, and yeah, I would just play Anderson. Uh, I would just put Anderson the first on your bench. Vukiek, thanks a lot also for joining the stream. Really appreciated. Lacroix was so good at the start of FPL. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm still hopeful that Lacroix is going to score that goal for me. And yeah, who knows? Maybe Rogers and Lacroix could both of them score, and that would be amazing for me. Hello, who would you prefer, Saka or Foden? Hi, Kelly. Thanks a lot for joining. Now, I'm not sure if you're asking me which player I would prefer to buy or to play. I would play both of them if that's the answer. For which player I prefer to play this gaming, it would be Foden. I think that he has a better fixture slightly against Brighton at home. If we're talking about which player I would like to buy, again, the same Foden. I don't think that Saka is worth the money, basically. But if you have Saka, I think that he's a decent hold for now. I don't think that you should rip up your team to sell Saka to Rice, honestly. Hi Jack, thanks a lot for joining. Should I start Soboslai or Wilson? I think that I would start Soboslai just because he's most likely on penalties, and that's it. I think that both of them are pretty bad fixtures. Slightly Wilson with a better fixture right at home against Chelsea, but probably I would start the penalty taker just in case. Because Ekitike probably won't play, right? So I hope my bench can do something for once. Yeah, again, if you ask me, I think that the injury for Ekitike is not that bad, and I think that he's going to be available to play against Arsenal. But this is just my opinion, and he could easily just miss out and play against Burnley. Again, my opinion is that Ekitike is going to start, but I'm just not sure if his minutes are going to be good. I think that the fixture is not great against Arsenal away, so I'm still debating which player to start: Anderson from Nottingham Forest or Ekitike against Arsenal away. If this is going to be my excuse, basically that Ekitike is flagged and he's a doubt, so that would be my excuse to play Anderson probably. Um, but definitely Ekitike is a doubt, and yeah, who knows if he's going to start or not. Hey mate, hi Hitesh Gewali. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really good to see you here again. Really appreciate it. Also, guys, please don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this stream. If you enjoy this content, obviously on this channel, it would be really much appreciated. And yeah, thanks a lot for hopping by. When is the double gaming? Is it gonna start at 30 plus gaming? Good question. Good question, Batman, because I just saw today something FPL Focal posted on X. Thanks for reminding me. Let me just search. So there's a good chance. I mean, no, nothing is guaranteed at this point. I wouldn't worry too much about double gimmicks yet, but there is a potential double gamic in gamic 26. So yeah, really close. So that's why I would advise you to try to roll the transfers if possible, because if Arsenal are going to have a double gamic, you need to have three players from Arsenal definitely at that point. um, Now double gamic likelihood depends on the league cup semis, as you can see here. If Arsenal beat Chelsea in the League Cup semi-final, they are likely to have a double gaming. Obviously, they are going to have a blank gaming then, so you need to have some free transfers to. Again, probably everyone is just going to bench the Arsenal players when they're going to blank. Newcastle, Sunderland, Everton, and Chelsea have a chance to, depending on Newcastle plus Chelsea finishing top 8 in Champions League. Again, if Chelsea are going to beat Arsenal, Chelsea are more likely to keep to have a double gaming in 26. Now, again, nothing is guaranteed at the moment. And yeah, if you want more news about double gaming, just watch this video from Pras and Spaceman. They are explaining much better than me how these double gamings are going to look like. But again, there is a chance Arsenal could double, and that is going to involve also Wolverhampton. Again, not a lot of people probably are going to have double gaming players from Wolverhampton, but Brentford away, Wolverhampton away. This could be also a nice, I don't know, triple captaincy shout. Maybe not, but again, just be aware that there is a chance Arsenal could double in 26. What is your overall rank? You can see it from the screen, 428. So yeah, I know Jacob Nielsen. My overall rank this season is pretty much horrible, and I'm trying to get better. But yeah, sorry, Bad Banana. That's my overall rank. Start one of Anderson or Gravenberch. Jacob Nielsen, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. So Anderson or Gravenberch, I would start Anderson. Anderson from Fulham instead of Gravenberch. Uh, Ayu Benecati, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Thiago or Bowen this gaming only. West Ham. West Ham are playing at home against Nottingham Forest, or Thiago against Sunderland. I think that I would just start Bowen for this week. Sorry. I think that I would just start Thiago. That's what I wanted to say, the penalty taker. But yeah, they are really close. I think that Bowen is also a nice shout. And also, if Paqueta is somehow going to be out, Bowen is likely on penalties also. So yeah, but I'm not sure if Paqueta is going to be out 100%. Mate, help me. My team is pathetic now. I have sent you my team on Instagram. I'm sure it's not pathetic. Hitesh Gewali. Um can you check my team? Yes, of course. Just send me your team, guys, on Twitter if you can. So for Hitesh Gewali, Dubravka, Van de Ven, Gusto, Virgil van Dijk. So you're starting Van Dijk, okay. Saka, Rogers, Paqueta, Smith Rowe, Haaland, Thiago, Calvert-Lewin. I'm not so sure how many free transfers do you have made. Please let me know if you want to help you. Van de Ven, Gusto, Dubravka, they are okay. Virgil van Dijk is okay if you have to play him. If not, again, if you have the chance to sell Virgil van Dijk to Gabriel, probably I would have done that before. Other than that, yeah, Thiago, Calvert-Lewin are okay. Soboslai to Rice. Hi, Ayanis. Again, Soboslai to Rice is a decent move, but again, I have Soboslai in my team, and I'm just not going to use one free transfer to sell to Rice. So yeah, if you want to do it, fine, but I don't think that Rice is such an outstanding player worth using one transfer this game week. Against Liverpool also. Would you start Anderson, Fulham, or Ekitike? Probably, probably I would risk it with Ekitike in that case. Slayer, Zyrex. I see Anderson scoring 3 or 4 points maximum. So with that risk, I would just risk it with Ekitike, I think. Hi Tunde Monehin, thanks a lot for joining. Star Mukiele or Collins. I would start I would start Collins. I would start Collins. Have Thiago starting. Yeah, the same. I would start Collins and Thiago, Tunde for sure, for sure. In that case, okay. So somebody send another team. Waris Manji. Let's see your team thoughts on this team. Currently top 99k. Nice with zero free transfer and brought Enzo instead of Kudus. Okay, Enzo is a nice shout for the foreseeable future. I think that he's a decent option. Ciao Romero, Chaloba, Roofs. Yeah, I like the defense. I really like it. Cunha, Shade, Enzo, Wirtz, João Pedro, Bowen, Haaland. Now you don't have any Arsenal defender starting, which again maybe amazing. Again, it's a fixture against Liverpool, so I think that Arsenal, I would not be surprised if Arsenal are going to keep a clean sheet against Liverpool, but at the same time I can't recommend you with so much hope to just play your Arsenal defenders, although they are the best defense in the Premier League, because there always that chance Liverpool could score. Yeah, so I agree. I think that I would start Chao, Romero, and Chaloba instead of Saliba. Honestly, I think that every one of them is better. And Rofs against Raya, yeah, as I said before, for another guy, I think that I would start Rofs. And Bon, João Pedro, Haaland, yeah, the team is looking okay. Waris Manji, I would just not take a hit with your team. And so be it. This year or Soboslai. Uh, I think that I would start Soboslai in that case. Now, again, it's a really tough decision because both of them are on penalties. Both of them have really tough fixtures away from home. Probably, yeah, Soboslai has the tougher one against Arsenal away, although Calvert-Lewin against Newcastle away is also a tough fixture. Gaming fanatics, but I will start Soboslai just because he's playing for a better team. I think we can say that. He's also on some set pieces and he's also on penalties, so I would play Soboslai instead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Wilson or Mukiele. I think that Bad Banana. If you want to go different, I mean different, of course, Wilson is going to have a higher ownership than Mukiele, so I'm not so sure if that's going to be different. But if you want to catch the upside, if you think that Fulham can do something against Chelsea offensive-wise, then I would just play Wilson. But if you want to play it safe, Mukiele is most likely going to get you defensive contribution in that game, and he's going likely to get you 3 or 4 points, I would say. So safe option, I think that is Mukiele. The higher ceiling is Wilson. Hey mate, hi Freistein. Bench 1, Ekitike, Wirtz or Soboslai. So bench 1, I would just bench Ekitike, I think, and play Wirtz and Soboslai. For sure, Frey. Praj Matil, thanks a lot for joining. Should I start Gravenberch over Calvert-Lewin? Got a feeling that Grav might play good for DEFCON and an assist as well, but still think Calvert-Lewin might score. I think both of them have really horrible away fixtures, Gravenberch and Calvert-Lewin, but I would start Calvert-Lewin just because he's on penalties, honestly. And Gravenberg could be okay for defensive contributions, but at the same time, yeah, I'm not sure. I would play Calvert-Lewin. I would play Calvert-Lewin. I think I'm not a huge fan of Gravenberg in FPL, honestly. That's my problem. What rank are you in your league? In my league, let me just check. Not an amazing rank, I would say, in my actual league. Um, 37 is my rank in my own league. Would you start Cash, Fulham, Anderson, or Lacroix? So Aston Villa against Crystal Palace, Lacroix, or Anderson. Definitely, I would not start Anderson from Fulham. Sam Hanford. And between Cash and Lacroix, I would just start Lacroix, I think. Shobit, thanks a lot for joining. Should I sell Timber for Gabriel, downgrade DCL or Wilson, and sell Senesi to Gabriel for a hit? Roll also who would start between DCL, Senesi, Wilson. I think that I would just sell Timber for Gabriel, honestly, and not take the hit. And who to start between Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Senesi, Wilson? I think that I would start Dominic Calvert-Lewin because he's on penalties, basically. Only because of that. If not, probably Senesi instead of Wilson. My bench is Anderson, Wilson, and Ekitike. Who would you put first? Ekitike. I think that I would put first Ekitike and then Wilson and then Anderson, but yeah. But this year has a good scoring threat compared to Sobo against a tough Arsenal away. I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is also going to play against Newcastle away, which is going to be a really tough fixture for Leeds. I don't see Leeds scoring a lot of goals, honestly, in this fixture. Gaming Fanatics. Again, if you want to play Dominic Calvert-Lewin instead of Soboslai, fair enough. Definitely, he has better underlining. He has better statistics. If we're talking about who's more likely to score a goal, probably it's Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But Soboslai could get you an assist, could even get you some defensive contributions, and yeah, both of them are on penalties. So yeah. Any news about Paqueta? We're going to take a look at that also. Hitesh, would you start Cash? Yeah, Honey Yam, Captain Watkins, Haaland or Bone? I would just Captain Haaland, honestly. Easy as that. Who should be my first sub? Ekitike, Anderson, Wilson, Ekitike, I think. Jack, thanks, help a lot. You got a like for me for your stream. Thanks a lot, Prajwal Patil. Thanks a lot for liking this stream. Really appreciate the support. Hopefully, my advice is going to help you a little bit. I have also sent you my team. Okay, we're going to take a look at that also. So yeah, this is the pretty lineup for Aston Villa for anyone interested. Let me just I think that Andy from Let's Talk FPL tweeted something about Paqueta, and I think that that's the latest news we got on Paqueta. Paqueta in training photos doesn't mean anything, doesn't mean that he's going to start, but again, if you have Paqueta, probably I would just risk it. Lucas Paqueta, they are trying hard to be involved. Painful situation. We still have tomorrow to see how they are and see if they can be involved in the squad. So this is pretty much the latest news on Paqueta. Two free transfers with 1 million in the bank. Thoughts? O'Reilly, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Kelleher. Nice. I would roll again. Your your friend doesn't have Erling Haaland, which I found it a little bit strange and risky. Again, with I'm not so sure if he can buy Erling Haaland by selling Ekitike. That would be a pretty good transfer, I think. But if he wants to go without Erling Haaland, good luck to him. What is Manji? But if not, I would try to find a way. Maybe sell Saka to Rice and upgrade Ekitike to Haaland, uh, and play Haaland instead of, I don't know, instead of Tavernier or something like that. Jack also sent me a team on Instagram. Yeah. So yeah, you were asking me about the bench order, right? Uh, yeah, I would start Sobot. Yeah, that's how I would play your team. Ekitike probably first on the bench, but if not, Wilson is definitely okay anyway. So yeah, I like your team, Jack. The predicted lineup for Brighton for anyone interested. But I have to go. Such a good life. Thanks a lot, Batman. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciated. Good luck this game also. Hi Marcus, thanks a lot for joining. Any news on Minte, Gabriel and Rice? Who is a must for this gaming? None of them, none of them are a must for this gaming. If you're talking about Gabriel on Rice, but if you're asking me which one player I think that he is more essential than the other, I think that Gabriel. I think that Gabriel is a better pick overall than Rice, and I think that you need to have Gabriel for the rest of the season basically. So yeah, I would go for Gabriel just because if you're not going to get him, you're going to lose a lot of money in price rises. So yeah. And any news on Minte? He again, I'm not expecting Minte to start. If you're asking about my opinion, I saw something about from the press conferences, and they it wasn't so positive about Minte, and this is also the predicted lineup for Brighton. If you're thinking about that, I think that I would sell Minte honestly, if you have the possibility, obviously. Bro, I am 10 in your league. Nice, nice. What is Manji? Maybe you're going to win the league. Who knows? Hey Dennis, would you start Dorgu or Ekitike this week? I would start Dorgu. Again, Ralph Sutton, I know that Amorim is no longer the manager of Man United, and I'm a little bit worried about how Darren Fletcher is going to line up. Probably is going to be a back four. I just hope that Dorgu is going to start, and I think that any manager who's going to be at Man United, they are not going to make a lot of changes straight away for this game against Burnley. I think that Dorgu is most likely to play. Definitely, I think that he has a better chance than Ekitike to start. So yeah, I would just start Dorgu. I think against Burnley. Chelsea predicted lineup, so they are not expecting João Pedro to start for some reason. Hi bro, how are you doing? Hi Ahil Sayed, thanks a lot. Yeah, doing really fine. Really fine. Hopefully we can do something. Captain Watkins, Haaland or Bowen, Honey Yam or Honey Yam. I ask your question. From those three, I would just captain Erling Haaland. I think that he's better than Watkins and Bowen. But that's just my opinion again. Hi Obit O. Should I start Mateusz Mane versus Everton or take a -4 hit to transfer out Minte for Bruno Guimaraes who plays against Leeds? I would just play Mane. I would just play Mane and then take a -4 to buy Bruno Guimaraes, honestly. Hi Josh, Joe, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Um, would you start Dominic Calvert-Lewin against Newcastle or Wilson against Chelsea? As you pointed out, definitely Dominic Calvert-Lewin has the tougher fixture against Newcastle away, I think. But I think that I would start him purely because he's on penalties for Leeds, and he somehow uh, he's getting chances somehow every gaming. So yeah, I would start probably Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but it's not too much into it. I expect Chelsea also to be a difficult fixture for Fulham. I don't see Fulham scoring, I don't know, 3 goals against Chelsea. So yeah, I think that I would start Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but it's not such a big difference, I think. Start Elliot Anderson or Ekitike. That's also my question. At the moment, I'm starting Elliot Anderson in my team. What is price in your league? Honestly, what is Manji? I didn't thought too much about it, but I said sometimes that it's going to be something symbolic. So yeah, if you're hoping that uh, I don't know, it's going to be a cash prize or something like that. Yeah, it's not going to be, but again, probably it's going to be a cup or anything else. I'm going to think until we approach the end of the season what's going to be, and what I can say to you is that there's going to be a prize for my mini league. So if you didn't join the mini league, make sure you join it. You have the links to that in my description. And it's going to be something symbolic. I don't know, FPL Dennis Cup or something like that. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want you people just to join the my mini league just because it's going to be an amazing prize or something like that. I want you to watch my lives, my content because you enjoy. Uh, and yeah, but who knows? Maybe in the future, the prizes are going to be much more substantial. But for this season, it's going to be something more symbolic, I think. I join your league. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Anderson to Chow or roll and play Senesi. I would just roll and play Senesi probably. Because Chow, again, I think that Chow is a pretty nice option, but the next 2 fixtures are great. After that, the fixtures get a little bit more trickier for Newcastle, so I'm not so sure how good he's going to be in the future. So that's why I'm not so sure if he's worth a transfer this gaming. And Senesi, I think that he's a decent one anyway. Hi, DM McDonald's. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Okay, bro. Signing off. All the best. Hoping for green. Thanks a lot, Waris Manji, for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Good luck for you this gaming. And yeah, take care. Took a -4 this gaming. Mukele Watkins and Pickford in. Martinez, Gay, and Ekitike out. Okay, okay. Good evening to you too. McDonald, Pickford, Timber, King, Gabriel. Your team is looking great. Defensive wise, Foden, Rice, Bruno Guimaraes, Rogers, Watkins, Thiago, Haaland. Nice, nice. Again. Dubravka, Cash, Mukiele, Stach on the bench. Yeah, I like your team. Nothing wrong to say about it. Probably, I would say is better than mine. So yeah, I think that's a great team. I think that's a great team. McDonald. So for Liverpool, the predicted lineup again with a lot of doubts around a lot of players. Van Dijk, Konate, Bradley, Gravenberg, Soboslai. Probably these players are likely to play. As I said before, I think that Ekitike is going to start, but am I going to risk it? I'm not sure. He could be also on the bench, Ekitike. That's the only problem with starting him, and he can come in just for to play 10 minutes against Arsenal away, which is not amazing. So at the moment, I'm playing Anderson from Nottingham Forest instead of him. Um, yeah. Other than that, Man City pretty good lineup. Nothing interesting. Ruben, yeah, Ruben is out. This is a late one. News on Bruno? Not yet, not yet. We're going to have the press conference for Manchester United anytime from now on. Probably right now, how we're talking, there is a press conference for Manchester United, and I'm going to let you know, guys, if we get any news about Bruno Fernandes. But until that, we're going to look at some projections. Hi, Leox. Thanks a lot for joining. O'Reilly, Dorgu, Gay, Chow, Esteve. Is it worth bringing Gabriel in or not? I mean, if you want to wait until Gaming 22 to buy Gabriel, that's fine. I mean, you waited so long. His price got really high from now, so probably you're okay to play O'Reilly, Dorgu, and Chow this gaming, and even Gay if you need to play him, he's okay. So for this gaming, definitely, I don't think that it is a must for you to buy Gabriel, but I just think that you need to have Gabriel at some point, definitely sooner rather than later, because he's the best defender in FPL, and yeah, at some point you need to have Gabriel. Leox, Prati, Chowdhury, thanks a lot for joining. Wilson to Enzo, is it worth it? I think that Enzo is going to be a better pick than Wilson for the next few game weeks. Chelsea are going to have a new manager. Is that going to affect? Is that going to make Enzo Fernandez such a bad FPL option? Probably not. So yeah, for this game week, I don't think that necessary is worth doing that transfer Wilson to Enzo Fernandez. I think that you can just keep Wilson for this fixture and decide if you want to buy Enzo Fernandez later. But yeah, I think that is okay. Maybe not worth it this week. Wishing that Liverpool should win the game with clean sheet as a City fan. As a Liverpool fan, Hitesh Giwali, I wish the same. I mean, Liverpool won against Arsenal in the reverse fixture. Is that going to happen again? Probably not. But again, Liverpool have good players. I know that everybody's I don't know, laughing at Liverpool or something like that, because it is true that it was a pretty terrible season for Liverpool. And again, I'm not so sure what we're playing at the moment, but what I know for sure is that Liverpool can put up a performance. They won against Real Madrid, they won against Arsenal, against Aston Villa, again, Inter Milano. They won against a lot of tough oppositions. So this is not going to be an easy game for Arsenal. I can tell you that right now, but yeah, Arsenal are favorites to win, definitely. Yo, bro, would you start Richarlison or Bukayo Saka? I I think that I would be tempted to start Richarlison, but the only problem is Xam Productions. I'm not sure if Richarlison is going to start himself. Probably, no joke. Jokes aside, I think that probably Richarlison is going to start, and there's a good chance he's going to be also on penalties with Kudus being out probably for this fixture. So I would be tempted to start Richarlison over Saka, but looking how bad Liverpool were this season, playing Saka, having Saka, I think that you should start him against Liverpool. Yassine Ahmed, who's your captain for this gaming? Erling Haaland is going to be my captain, 100%. Easy Ease, thanks a lot for joining. What's your thoughts on selling Foden for Bruno Guimaraes, or should I roll to free transfer? My thoughts are that you should just roll. I think that Foden is a better pick than Bruno Guimaraes. I don't know. I think that Foden is better than Bruno Guimaraes. I don't think that it's worth a transfer to sell Foden to Bruno Guimaraes. No, I don't. I know that Foden blanked in the last four game weeks, but he's a nailed Man City midfielder. And what we know that Man City are scoring usually a lot of goals, and yeah, Foden could be well involved in those goals. And as you can see from the screen right now on these projections for Gaming 21, Foden is predicted to be the third most, the best scoring midfielder, the best scoring player this gaming. So, yeah, from this prediction only, yeah, I would just keep Foden and roll. Easy is. Liverpool always play a tough game against good team. Yeah, yeah, I think that I hope that at least Liverpool are going to put a good performance against Arsenal. Hey, bro, nice content. Thanks a lot, Nash Virsai. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. I'm on a wildcard. Which combo do you prefer, Enzo and Martinez or Rogers and Sanchez? Enzo and Martinez. Rogers and Sanchez, I think, barely purely because I don't really want to have someone like Martinez at 5 millions or how much he is. I think that there are better options, cheaper. Some one of them is Sanchez, I think, so that's why I would go for Rogers and Sanchez. Hi, Advik Choudhury. Hey, bro, Voltemart or Wilson? I would be tempted to just play Voltemart, honestly, for this game week. I think that surely he has to start. Again, I can't guarantee you that Voldemort is going to start, but I think that there's a good chance he's going to. And now, if I can help you guys a little bit with some projections for Gaming 21, clean sheet odds, projected goals, if you're having some benching headaches, uh, this is maybe going to help you. If you have Everton, Brentford, Newcastle, Arsenal players, defenders, probably it's a good idea to start them. Again, Man City attackers, just start them. Liverpool, yeah, pretty bad here on this projection. Cheers, mate. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Easy for joining the stream. Hopefully that's going to help you. And also, guys, don't forget to leave a like on this stream if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. It would be really much appreciated. Uh, Geodebe, who to buy for Mint? I already have Semenyo, so no Tavernier. I have thought about Hutchinson, someone else, or Roll. Uh, if you have a decent player to play instead of Minte, probably I would just Roll because I think that it's going to be really useful for you and for everybody pretty much to have some free transfers in the upcoming game weeks with a lot of swings happening for Bruno Fernandes, Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, a lot of players you're going to be interested to buy in the future. Probably I would just be lining towards rolling the transfer, but I don't think that I would go for Hutchinson, honestly. Uh, Other options, Foden, Gordon, Declan Rice is a nice one. But yeah, Luka Topalovic, thanks a lot for joining. Start two of Chaloba, Heaven, Van der Berg, and Van Dijk. So start two. I would start Heaven, I think, because he's playing against Burnley. I would start Chaloba, and yeah, that's it. I would bench Van der Berg and Van Dijk. Van Dijk, definitely, I would bench him against Arsenal. And Van der Berg, he's a doubt. We don't know if he's going to play. So yeah, I would just play Chaloba in Heaven. Luca. Enzo and Martinez allows me to go Cunha to Bruno next week. Rogers and Sanchez doesn't. Okay. I mean, if you're wildcarding, honestly, Nash Versailles. Uh, yeah, I wanted to say that I'm not sure if I would go for Cunha, but again, the fixture is really good against Burnley, so I can't really go against you and say that it's a bad idea. Uh, yeah, but next week, again, if you want to go from Cunha to Bruno, I wouldn't buy Bruno honestly until Gaming 24 because United are going to play against Man City, against Arsenal, so probably I would just wait until Gaming 24 anyway to buy Bruno. Yeah, I know. Played him last 2 weeks and I was pissed. Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I knew I thought that he was going to play last gaming Voldemort, so I can't guarantee you that he's going to start this gaming. But I think that he has to start. I mean, Wisa started the last two gamings. Surely he needs a break. So probably I would just start Voldemort. Chowdhury, Cheetos, thanks a lot for joining. Do you think Igor Jesus will be a nice option in order to save funds for Bruno and Palmer next week? I think that he's a decent one at that price, but the thing is, now we have some decent picks who which emerge like Mane from Wolverhampton at 4.5 millions, Barnes from Burnley at 4.2, and also Krupi Juniors, who probably is going to get decent minutes now that Clivert is going to be out for a long period of time. Semenyo is going to go. So I just think that there are, if you want to save money, you're just going for Mane, Krupi Juniors, Barnes instead of going for Igor Jesus. Cheetos. Hi, KD Bay. 1-2 among Chaloba, Wilson, and Dalot start. So 1-2 start from Chaloba, Wilson, and Dalot. I would start Diogo Dalot. If you need to start just one, I would start Dalot against Burnley. But I really like also Chaloba against Fulham. Also tell me, what do you think of this wildcard? Martinez, Dubravka, Gabriel Timber, Chaloba, Nunez, Heaven, Palmer, Cherky, Rice, Cunha, Enzo, Haaland, Krupi, Mane. Nice. So you're going with the formation 4-5-1. I mean, with two really cheap strikers, and honestly, I like it. I mean, it could. I don't know if it's going to go wrong. You can always save up some free transfers and upgrade to an Ekitike, to a Bowen, to a Thiago, or something like that. But I really like, honestly, going on a wild card. Didn't thought that much about switching the formation. Uh, I don't think that I would go for Haven on a wild card, but I understand he's really cheap and he's going to be on your bench probably for forever after this fixture. Gabriel Timber Rice, I think that this is the best triple up from Arsenal, as you picked. Chaloba, I really like. Palmer and Enzo, probably these are my three favorite players from Chelsea. Now, again, Sanchez also could be a nice option. Cherky, yeah, if you have the money, I would try to include Foden instead of Cherky, but probably you don't have the money to do that. You have also Nunez. I'm not sure if I would go for a City defender, honestly, knowing that Ruben Diaz and Guardiola are going to be out for 1 month, 2 months. Guardiola probably for the rest of the season. So I think that I would go for another cheap defender like Alderete, maybe. Maybe instead of Nunez and Haven, I would go for an Alderete, for an uh, maybe not Rodon, but yeah, you got my idea. Palmer, Cherky, Rice, Cunha, Enzo. Yeah, I like that. Again, you need to have a plan, obviously, to have Bruno Fernandes, but I like your team. I think that this is really interesting. Good advice, bro. Thank you. No problem, Nash Virsai. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, I like your team. I really like, as I talked before, Krupi, Mane. I like them as cheap options. If that's going to allow you to have a midfield of Palmer, Bruno Fernandes, Erling Haaland in the future, that's really nice. Uh, yeah, not too much to say. The only thing I don't really like is Martinez in goal for that amount of money. I just think that I just don't think that he's worth the money. When you have Verbruggen, Flecken, even someone like Sanchez from Chelsea is better, I think, and cheaper. Uh, Thanks, I will roll no money in the bank for Foden Rice. Thanks a lot, Giodebe, for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. 26 likes. Thanks a lot, guys. Would you start Semenyo, Ekitike, or Lacroix? I would start Semenyo. I would start Semenyo if you need to start just one of them. Hey man, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Big Dev. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. I've got two free transfer. I can either do Van Dijk to Tarkovsky. Let me just show my team again. So I can either do Van Dijk to Tarkovsky and hold the other transfer, or could I do Verbruggen and Wirtz to Pickford and Bruno Guimaraes? I wouldn't sell Verbruggen. I think that Verbruggen is a pretty decent option, honestly, for the future. Uh, Again, with I would just play Dubravka and keep Verbruggen. For the Liverpool players, again, for my team, I would be just tempted to just keep them for Burnley at least in Gaming 22, and then if you want to sell them, fair enough. But I would be tempted to just keep them, Big Dev. Honestly, yeah, Tarkovsky is better for this gaming, definitely. But is he worth the money in the long run? Maybe, I guess. And Bruno Guimaraes, I don't know. I know that he scored a lot of points. I just think that, I don't know, he's not one of my favorites pick in FPL, to be honest with you, but fair enough. He scored a lot of points in the last few gamings. I just think that there are better options than Bruno Guimaraes. Season done, can't rise anymore. Hi, Koig11. Have some hope, man. You, again, the season is not done. Until it's done, we still can rise the ranks. So yeah. For anything else, if you, I don't know, you don't have any more hope, you can just play the game for fun, and who knows, maybe that's going to help you also rise the ranks. Play Wilson or do McAllister to rise and play him. I would just play Wilson, I think. But uh, again, McAllister, I think that he's not an amazing option to have in the future, so probably I would just sell McAllister to Rice and play Rice. Wildcard this early is very risky, but went from 200k in Game Week 9 to 1.8 million now. Attacking the next 5 to 10 game weeks, taking a punt on Nunez and Cherky instead of O'Reilly and Foden. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, again, there are a lot of ways to play this game if you want to go different, if you want to catch the ranks. I've also gone from 100k to 500k in 3 game weeks time. So yeah, I think that that's a decent wildcard. As I said, Nashi this side. I didn't thought that much about the wildcard, so definitely you thought more about your wildcard than me. So you should know better about different combinations. But yeah, I really like your wildcard. It is a rotation of Verbruggen and Kelleher better than Martinez and Dubravka. I guess maybe. I understand the idea with Dubravka. Also, I like it because he's really cheap and he's a playing goalkeeper. But realistically, how many fixtures you're going to be happy with playing Dubravka? And if we talk it like that, Martinez and Dubravka are almost the same money. I think that Verbruggen and not Flecken, sorry, Kelleher. And I would say that uh, both Brighton and Brentford are a better defense than Burnley, and I think that everyone can agree here with me. Andrew Kirk, thanks a lot for joining. I have 3 Arsenal assets, Saka, Rice, Timber. I have a lot of injuries, including Guardiola. Would you sell Saka and Guardiola and bring in Gabriel plus one other? If so, who would you replace Saka with? I would try to find a way, yeah, to sell to buy Gabriel. Now, in your case, you could always do Timber to Gabriel. That's just one transfer compared to two if you wanna. But again, Guardiola is a sell anyway, so probably I would try to do Guardiola to Gabriel and Saka to again Foden, Rogers, Anthony Gordon, Tavernier in the future could be a nice option. Other than that, I wouldn't go for Soboslai at the moment. I wouldn't. I'm not sure if I would go for Cunha just for one gaming. Probably not. Bruno Fernandes, Cole Palmer. These are also Emmanuel Serem. Thanks also for subscribing to this channel. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. Um, so yeah, as I said before, yeah, probably Palmer would be an Enzo Fernandez also is a consideration. Andrew, Cheeseman, maybe Van Heck to Keane, so I can get a piece of the Everton defense. Yeah, the only problem big dev with Keane is you're going to get him for this gaming, and I think that he's one of the best defenders to own for gaming 21. But for gaming 23, Braithwaite could be well back in the team for Everton, and just be aware that Keane could be out of the squad in 2 game weeks time, something like that. So yeah, just be aware of that. If you want to buy him short term, that's fine, but yeah, long term, I don't think that Keane is going to be that good. Hi, I'm Kaki. Thanks a lot for joining. Last game week 0 zeros in my squad. Sorry about that, Mkaki. Hi, Eliker. Hi, Pawan. Hi, Adam Brown. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining. Really appreciate the support. I forgot to thank you for recommending to keep Thiago. Really happy, really glad that it worked out, Eliker FC, for you, for me, for anyone who kept Thiago. What an amazing performance for Thiago. Can you imagine that Thiago scored 3 goals? He got a hat trick without any penalties. It's just unbelievable. Um, Anderson, and you don't need to thank me. I need to thank you for being here on the stream. Really appreciate the support every gaming. That's who needs to thank who. Any transfer plan? It's been terrible 3 weeks. For me, I'm just going to roll, and my strategy would be to get some Chelsea players, Cole Palmer maybe, Enzo Fernandez, to get Bruno Fernandes for Gaming 24, maybe a Tavernier, maybe downgrade someone like Thiago, someone like Ekitike in the future. At the moment, these are my plans. Maybe at some point change Raya to a cheaper goalkeeper and upgrade to someone like Rice or something like that. Hi, Denis Coelho. Liverpool had a clean sheet, winning 1-0 against Arsenal in August. Shouldn't you play Van Dijk? Again, I'm not going to play Van Dijk just because Liverpool won against Arsenal 4 months ago. So no, my reasons for benching Van Dijk are pretty simple. I think that this is a pretty bad fixture for Liverpool. Can I see Liverpool getting a clean sheet against Arsenal? Yeah, of course it could happen, but I think that the chances for Arsenal to keep a clean sheet are higher, so that's why I'm playing Gabriel Dorgu. I'm just going to play him against Burnley, and other than that, it's Lacroix Alderete versus Virgil van Dijk. Both of them are better than Virgil van Dijk at the moment for defensive contributions and have better fixtures. So basically, that's why at the moment Van Dijk is the last on my bench. Man United news. I should go back right on Twitter to see that. Bruno Fernandes will return back to the Man United squad for the game against Burnley. Yeah, I'm not so sure how reliable this source is, but FPL Fran reposted it, so I think that it is pretty reliable. Now, again, not a big news. We know that Bruno Fernandes was close to returning, so he trained before Burnley, and he's pushing to play against Burnley. Now, let me just see if we have anything else on Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United. Darren Fletcher confirms Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount training ahead of Man United visit to Burnley, but pair on managed minutes. Okay, so I guess this is good news. And how well I know Bruno Fernandes, probably if he's fit to start, he's going to start from the minute one. Now, again, should everyone rush to buy Bruno Fernandes? Just bear in mind, guys, that after Burnley, Man United are going to play against Man City and against Arsenal. So probably Bruno Fernandes can wait until Gaming 24. But again, if you have 5 free transfers and you don't know what to do with them, yeah, I guess you could take a punt on Bruno Fernandes. 5 zeros. Yeah, sorry about that. Would you play Ekitike or Timber? I would play Timber, I think. I don't know. I think that the chance of Arsenal keeping a clean sheet is higher than Ekitike scoring. Never mind, I'm not 100% sure. I can guarantee you that Ekitike is going to play in that game anyway. Radim Brown. I have a 90 point gap with the leading person on my league. He's on. You think I can catch up? Uh, yeah, I think that's possible. A lot of it's really possible, Adam Brown, because the thing is, a lot of chips are going to be in play in the second part of the season, and we're going to have double game mix and blank game mix. So a lot of things can change. Is it going to be easy for you to catch up? No, I have the same thing in my in a league with some friends. He's I don't know 100 points ahead of me, and I'm on the second place. Again, I'm not so hopeful I can win that league now, but there is a chance definitely. It in FPL things can change real quick. From 500k you could get inside 100k really in 3 game weeks time if you're going to have 3 really good game weeks. So yeah, I wouldn't worry that much. Should I sell Ekitike for Watkins or sell Semenyo for Bruno Guimaraes? Honestly, Ice Cojones, I would just keep both of them, honestly. Because if Ekitike is going to be fit for Burnley, I would prefer to have Ekitike instead of Watkins, honestly, long term anyway. And Semenyo for Bruno Guimaraes, I would just keep Semenyo for this fixture and sell him next gaming because this is probably most likely going to be the last game for Semenyo. Hi Stuart Fletcher, thanks a lot for joining. Good luck. Also to you, really appreciate the support. Start 3, bench 2. So start 3. I will start Dorgu and Hall for sure, and then bench. That's really tough. Harsh Patel, because all those players, you have 5 defenders who have decent fixtures: Rhys James, Coyote, and Mateusz Nunes. Uh, Coyote is playing against Sunderland. Coyote probably with the best fixture. I think that I would start Mateusz Nunes personally in my team, but it's really close between Mateusz Nunes, Coyote, and Rhys James. But for sure, I would just start Hall and Dorgu. Uh, yeah. So yeah, for anyone interested in Bruno Fernandes, I agree with Andy here. For me, again, there's no way I'm going to buy him this game week, because I have Cunha, which is okay, and the next few fixtures for Man United are pretty horrible against Man City and Arsenal. So Bruno Fernandes is going to be a transfer for the future for me, most likely in game week uh, 24. I'm going to leave also a poll here for you to help me. Who would you play, Ekitike in my team or Elliot Anderson? Abuji81, thanks a lot for joining. 2 free transfer, what would you do if this were your team? Petrovic, Timber, Gabriel, Dorgu, Cunha, Foden, Saka, Cherki, Anderson, Haaland, Ekitike, bench Dubravka, Anderson, Obi. I'm pretty sure you need to have another player on the bench. There you typed just 3 players on the bench, Abu G81, but I'm pretty sure I would roll with your team, or I don't know if you have the possibility to bring in Declan Rice. I guess that could be also a nice transfer. I would keep Ekitike until he's going to play against Burnley. And then, yeah, your defense is pretty nice with Timber and Gabriel. Hi, Thomas Nielsen. Also, thanks a lot for joining. I said my team, I have no idea what to do this week. We're going to take a look also at your teams, guys. Don't worry. Um, bench 2, Gabriel, Timber, Dorgu, Mukiele, and Collins. I would bench Mukiele and Collins probably. Now again, it really depends how you want to go. Tunde, if you want to back the Arsenal clean sheet against Liverpool, or if you want to maybe spread the risk a little bit. But one thing is for sure, I would play Dorgu and Gabriel 100%. These 2 players are non-negotiable for me. I would play Gabriel and Dorgu, and then probably Timber I would play, but it's between Timber and Collins. If you want to spread the risk a little bit, can you check out my team for sure? Hi Dennis, can you rate my team? Yeah, I can rate your team, guys. Where you send them. So yeah, with Bruno, basically the thing is nobody knows if he's going to start this gaming. So yeah, guys, I don't see where you sent me your teams because I don't see them on Twitter. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer also is looking like he's going to be the next manager for Man United until the summer at least. Send mine on Insta. Okay. So for Thomas Nielsen, yeah, right, Gabriel Anderson Keane. Any suggestions or who to start? I agree pretty much with your benched players. Van Heck, Ekitike. Again, with probably I would have Ekitike ahead of Van Heck on the bench just in case he's going to start against Arsenal. I prefer him over Van Heck. But other than that, yeah, I would just play your players. Anderson from Fulham, Rice, Foden, Cunha, Rogers, Miley, Bowen, Haaland. So it pretty much this team picks itself. Thomas. So yeah, I would just have Ekitike probably first on the bench here. Or it depends. If you want to risk it with Ekitike to start him, maybe, but I'm not sure. Should I take out Gay for Mikolenko or Mukiele? If you mean to sell Gay to Mikolenko or Mukiele, I would probably roll the transfer. If you have Gay, I think that he's a perfectly good option. For now at least, the fixtures are not horrible for Crystal Palace. And Gay, we know that he has also some attacking threat attached to him, decent for defensive contributions in some games. So I wouldn't sell Gay for Mukiele or Mikolenko. I don't think that should be a priority for you at the moment. I think that it's more important to just roll. Honestly, 20 people on the live stream. Thanks a lot, guys, for your incredible support, for joining the stream in the first place. Don't forget also to leave a like if you enjoy it, to hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Check out the memberships if you want to support the channel even more. We have some custom emojis there if you're interested. So yeah, basically thanks a lot for joining. Start Elliot Anderson. I feel he'll get an assist or two this game. Yeah, West Ham are pretty bad at set pieces. I'm not so sure if Elliot Anderson is taking a lot of set pieces nowadays. But yeah, probably I'm just going to start Elliot. Yassine Ahmed. Um, So this is your team. Pickford, Gabriel Timber, Senesi, Bruno Guimaraes, Rogers, Emmanuel Wilson, Thiago, Voltemad, Haaland, Bench, Dubravka, Van de Ven, McAllister, and Anderson. I think that this is how I would play with your team. Uh, yeah, I would risk it with Voltemad. Yeah, Yasin. Thanks. No problem, Tunde. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate the support. 35 likes also. Great, great. Thanks a lot, guys, for that. And also, guys, I think that I'm going to make another poll soon between Lacroix and Alderete. Now, both of them are pretty great defensive contributions. Alderete with a slightly better fixture, I think. but also I have the thing is they are playing against each other. Lacroix against Rogers, uh, Alderete against Thiago. I mean, I could just play Virgil van Dijk. I guess I don't have any Arsenal attacker. I could just play Virgil van Dijk against Arsenal, but yeah, probably don't want to do that. Hey Dennis, Chow or Van de Ven for Senesi 5.5 millions in the bank. Hi Jankster, thanks a lot for joining the stream again. Really appreciate it. Uh, I would go for Chow, I think, because he's better for defensive contributions, and both of them are pretty good for attacking threat. Yasin Ahmed, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Dennis. Good luck. Good luck, Tunde Monehin. Good luck this game week and have a nice evening, guys. Uh, Dennis, I DM you. My team suggest changes. Yeah, I didn't saw the DM. I'm going to check it again. Mkaki, sorry, but I didn't saw it. Rico Lewis or Alderete. I'm just not sure if Rico Lewis is getting a lot of minutes. Adam Brown for Man City. I think that I would just play Alderete probably. I mean, if you know 100% sure that Rico Lewis is starting, then I would start him probably. But please correct me. I'm just not sure if he's likely to start or not. Uh, my back five is Gabriel Tarkovsky, Anderson, Senesi, Rodon. Would you start three or four of them? I have Raul up front. Could change him or roll. I would just roll, honestly. I mean, you have pretty decent options. Rodon is not going to play most likely, but Gabriel Tarkovsky, I would play Gabriel Tarkovsky and Senesi, honestly, and bench Anderson and Rodon if possible, and play Raul Jimenez because with Raul Jimenez, he's on penalties. That's the thing, and with Anderson also, I see him getting 2 or 3 points, something that I can see Chelsea scoring at least 2 goals in this fixture against Fulham. And with Raul Jimenez, at least you have the upside. They could get a penalty, or he could just get an assist or score a goal. So I would play Raul up front and roll. Is it fine to keep Senesi? For this fixture, yeah. I mean, again, you could just sell Senesi to Chow, to Tarkovsky if you want. And they are definitely better in Gaming 21, but long term, I'm not so sure how many free transfers do you have and how are your plans for the future, because I could also sell Van Dijk to a Tarkovsky, right, in my team, but that's going to block me to get Palmer, to get Bruno Fernandes in the future, and yeah, so that's why I'm keeping Van Dijk for Burnley in Gaming 22. Hi Adam Faket, thanks a lot for joining the stream, really appreciate it. Good luck this week. Good luck to you too. Um, so yeah, let's see if I got your team. Mkaki. So Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be the next manager for Manchester United. Honestly, exciting times, I would say, for FPL. Definitely, it can be worse than Ruben Amorim, I would say, but who knows? So yeah, okay, Mkaki. Now I'm seeing your team. How many free transfers do you have? If you can tell me again. But looking at your team, Kin Lacroix, Gabriel, yeah, the same as me, almost. Dubravka also, yeah, I will start him definitely. Cunha, Saka, Caicedo, Foden, Garner, Haaland, Ekitike. If Ekitike is not going to play, you have Alderete. Yeah, this is a decent squad. I'm not so sure how many transfers you have, because if you have just one, probably I would just roll it. Thanks a lot. Cheers, Jankster. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate the support. Good luck with this gaming. Have a nice evening. Um, Okay, so more of you guys are picking me to start Tiki instead of Elliot Anderson. Are you trolling me or uh, or is everyone 100% sure Ekitike is going to start? So, Mkaki, as I said before, your team is pretty okay. I would just skip Ekitike probably. I would just keep him for Burnley and then decide what to do. You have Saka. Again, Caicedo probably at some point is going to be a sell in the future to maybe an Enzo Fernandez, to a Palmer. But at the moment, he's okay. He got his rest. Last gaming, so who knows? Maybe he's going to score another wonder goal this gaming. But yeah, overall your team looks good. About Hugo Ekitike, if you're thinking guys what to do with him, so basically Arne Slot did an Arteta in the press conference. Not so helpful. Okay, so with this poll you're trolling me guys, definitely. You're saying to start Ekitike instead of Elliot Anderson, so I'm going to do the opposite. And I'm going to start Elliot Anderson. Now I'm going to need uh, to make another poll, and I'm going to ask you guys which one would you start if you were in my place, Lacroix or Alderete? Hi Juntao, thanks a lot for joining. Hi bro, start Dorgu or Wilson. I would start Dorgu. I will start Dorgu. I mean, I bought Dorgu for these fixtures, and if I'm going to not start him ahead of Burnley at home, I couldn't forgive myself, my future me. So yeah, I would just start Dorgu 100%. If you have Dorgu, you need to start him against Burnley. That's how I see the game. Could United concede against Burnley? Of course, they are a terrible defense, but who knows? With the new manager, maybe we're going to see a bounce. Uh, Rovs or Dubravka, and for first sub, Gay or Van de Ven. I would start Rovs from Sunderland instead of starting Dubravka, definitely. And for the first sub, Gay or Van de Ven. I think that, let me just see, are Bournemouth playing, are Spurs playing away from home? I forgot about that. Uh, yeah, I would start Gay instead of Van de Ven, I think, but it's really close there. 38 likes. Let's try to get to 40, guys. Half an hour till the deadline. Hi, Rudresh. I have two free transfers and current squad is. Need suggestions on what to do. Radu Bravka, Tarkovsky, Senesi, Gay, Chaloba, Van Heck. Your defense is pretty okay. If you can play Tarkovsky, Senesi, uh, Senesi and Chaloba, even Gay could be a nice option. Cherky, Foden, Cunha, Wilson, Stach, Haaland, Ekitike, Calvert-Lewin. Need suggestions on what to do. Probably, again, you don't have Gabriel. If you have an easy way, road rest to just buy Gabriel, probably I would just do it. Or I should say I would have done it before. If possible, maybe Senesi to Gabriel, Gay to Gabriel, something like that. But if you need to roll this gaming, I think that's perfectly fine. Also, you can play Cherky, Foden, Cunha, Wilson, Haaland and Calvert-Lewin. Yeah. I don't have any free transfers. Can you suggest my sub order? Yeah, of course. I mean, Alderete, Virgil van Dijk, Guyu. Yeah, that would be my bench order, just like you put them. Alderete, slightly better chance, I think, of keeping a clean sheet than Virgil van Dijk. Good for defensive contributions. Guyu would be the last on my bench. So yeah, that would be the bench order. Mkaki. But who should I start between Anderson and Mukiele versus Thiago? I'm playing a 3-4-3. Anderson and Mukiele. So Mukiele is going to play against Thiago. But the thing is, I don't know. I know that Mukiele is playing against Thiago, but the thing is, Elikar FC, I can see I can see Sunderland not conceding the same amount of the same amount of goals as Fulham. I don't know. I see Anderson getting 2 or 3 points, even if he's going to get defensive contributions in that fixture against Chelsea. And I can see also Mukiele getting defensive contributions against Thiago. So who knows? Maybe you can get a goal for Thiago, defensive contributions for Mukiele, and that would be for. I think that I will start Mukiele anyway. So yeah, Lazinho, thanks a lot for joining. I can get Rogers and Gabriel in if I sell Raya and Van Dijk. Should I do it? I mean, what do you mean? I mean, you can get Rogers by selling Raya and Van Dijk. Uh, I mean, you're going to sell another midfielder, right? Uh, if you can just get Gabriel instead of Van Dijk, I think that's better. But yeah, Rogers and Gabriel in for Raya and Van Dijk sounds good, but which midfielder also you're going to sell? Are you going to take a hit for that? Yeah, Okay, cheers, mate. Good luck. Good luck, Mkaki. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate the support. I can get both in Rogers and Gabriel. Yeah, you can get both of them, but you're also going to sell midfielder, right? So you're going to make 3 transfers, Lazinho. Are you going to do those moves for free, or you're going to take a hit? Because that matters also. Uh, Why not start Ekitike? I've benched Sobo for now. Thomas Otto, thanks a lot for joining the stream. I'm just not sure if Ekitike is going to start. Now, my opinion is that if he's fit, he's going to start, but there's also that possibility of Ekitike being on the bench and playing just 10 minutes, and I'm not sure if I want to take that risk. Soboslai is going to play for me anyway. He's on penalties for Liverpool, so there's no way I'm going to bench Soboslai for Ekitike. Uh, but it's between Anderson from Nottingham Forest and Ekitike. Who should I play? It's a tough decision. If Ekitike would play 90 minutes, maybe I would uh, take that chance against Arsenal. But again, it's a really bad fixture for Liverpool anyway, even if Ekitike is going to start. And Anderson against West Ham away, maybe hopefully is going to get defensive contributions. That's already a 4-pointer. Is Ekitike going to score 1-2 goals against Arsenal away? The probability is not that high of that happening. If I sell Van Dijk and Raya. Yeah, Lazinho, I understood that if you're going to sell Van Dijk and Raya, you can get Rodgers. But what I'm asking you is, which midfielder are you going to sell to buy Rodgers? Because you can't sell Van Dijk to buy Rodgers. You can't sell Raya to buy Rodgers. That was my question. And also, how many? If you're doing these moves for free, or are you taking a hit? Are you taking a -8? Because that matters. Sub 7 million Kudus replacement, Grealish, Enzo, Cherky, Tavernier, Barnes. Vivek Gore, I really like Barnes for this week, but long term, I don't think that he's an amazing option. It really depends if you want to go short term, if you want to go long term. Grealish, I don't think that I would go for Grealish at the moment. I like Enzo, honestly, because of the fixtures are going to came up for Chelsea. So I like Enzo, honestly. Tavernier also could be an interesting one, but he's going to play also against Liverpool, which again shouldn't put you off, I guess. Uh, Tavernier is going to be on penalties for 5.6 million, so it really depends which type of midfielder do you want, how much money you want to spend, if that's going to block you to get Palmer, to get Bruno Fernandes down the line. Hey matey, start Sanchez or Dubravka? Definitely start Sanchez. Blanky for sure. I don't see Burnley keeping a clean sheet against Man United. Which one to start? Anderson, Elliot Anderson, Wilson, and Tarkovsky. If you have Tarkovsky, 100% you need to start him against Wolverhampton at home. Definitely, I would just start Tarkovsky. Hi Jeff Jones. Hello my friend. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. How are you also? To get Rogers in, I'm changing him for Minte. Okay. So yeah, that's what I was asking for. And I'll have to change Gabriel for Van Dijk, and then we'll have to sell Raya for maybe Roofs. Honestly, instead of going for Roofs, I would just go for Verbruggen, Kelleher, or Sanchez. But again, Roofs is fine if you want to go for him. And I like going from Minte to Rogers. Again, is Rogers going to be that amazing pick a lot of people thought he was going to be? Probably not. But he's a decent one. I have him in my team, so yeah, I don't mind it. If you want to sell Minte, definitely. So yeah, I like those moves. 2 free transfers. Okay, so you're doing those. You want to make 3 transfers for a -4. To sell Raya, Raya Van Dijk to Gabriel Roves for -4 and Minte for Rogers. I'm not so sure if the hit is worth it, especially this gaming. I think that I would just wait one more gaming, honestly, Lazinho, because again, long term, I like having Gabriel, but taking a -4 to buy Gabriel, and to sell Raya, who both are going to play against Liverpool, doesn't feel great. Van Dijk also has Burnley next game, so yeah, if you can just sell Minte to a midfielder, that would be what I would do, I think. So Boslai is basically uh, gonna blank. Don't you think you should play 4 defenders? Uh, Again, I mean, it's not basically gonna blank. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Soboslai, if you remember, scored in the reverse fixture against Arsenal, uh, and he played right back in that game. So again, could Soboslai blank? Of course. Is he going to blank? I'm not sure. But what I know is that he's on some set pieces. He's taking some free kicks. He's on penalties. And I know that Soboslai was really unlucky to not get some returns in the last few gamings. McAllister hit the post. Virgil van Dijk hit the post. He could have got a penalty. So again, I'm not trying to argue with anyone here. If you're talking about someone like Alderete, I could play Alderete to get defensive contributions against Brentford away, but is that so much more exciting than just playing Soboslai, who could get defensive contributions still against Arsenal? He could get an assist, he could score a goal. Soboslai, again, I know that he wasn't the best pick for me in the last 2-3 game weeks, but he's still the pick I bought. He's on, as I said before, on set pieces, on penalties. He's playing for Liverpool. He's probably going to play as a number 10 or as a right winger. So yeah, there's no way I'm going to bench Soboslai to play Alderete, honestly. So yeah. Any news on Ekitike Paketa? Not really. I mean, Arne Slot didn't help us at all with Ekitike's injury, but yeah. The question for me here, if I'm going to play Lacroix, who's going to be the first on my bench, Alderete or Virgil van Dijk? That's the real question here. Probably I'm not going to need my bench this game week because my team is pretty okay. Yeah, no news about Paqueta. Paqueta is he was pictured in training, if that's going to help you, and he's pushing to start. Probably I would just risk Paqueta if you have him. Um, any chance for Richards to start? No. I mean, Oliver Glasner was pretty confident saying that Richards is going to be with the squad, but he's not going to start. So Richards is going to be on the bench. So what I would do if you have Richards, I would just put him the last on your bench, basically. Newbie, thanks a lot for joining. Hey, bro, would you rather transfer in Chow or Tarkovsky for Virgil van Dijk? Uh, if I look at the fixtures a little bit for Tarkovsky, I think that I would transfer Tarkovsky instead of Chow, but yeah. Yeah, I think that I would transfer Tarkovsky because the fixtures long term are a little bit better for him. Play Anderson or Soboslai. I would play Soboslai, honestly. Hi Tanuj Aurora, thanks a lot for joining. What would you do if you had to start two of Foden, Ekitike, Chaka, Mukiele, Anderson? I would definitely start Foden, and then probably I would start Granit Xhaka, I think. Granit Xhaka or Mukiele anyway. Tanuj Aurora. I would bench probably Anderson and Ekitike. Jamie Stravik, thanks a lot for joining. I don't understand why Ekitike is on everyone bench. I know he might be bench and I know it's Arsenal, but he's better getting so many chances. So I start Anderson over Ekitike. Now, if we're talking about Anderson over Ekitike, probably I would just start Ekitike, honestly, because I think that Anderson is going to get 2 or 3 points against Chelsea anyway. Best case scenario. I mean, not best case scenario, but you get what I mean. Fulham could concede 2 goals. I think that I would start Ekitike instead of Anderson. Now, I had also Ekitike starting at some point this week for me, but because I have someone like Elliot Anderson who, I don't know, has a nice fixture, good for defense contributions, I'm not sure if I want to risk playing Ekitike against Arsenal away. I don't know. I don't know. If I would be 100% sure Ekitike would start this game, I would just play him ahead of Anderson. I'm going to tell you that. But the thing is, there's a doubt, and Arne Slot wasn't really helpful in making that decision. Juke to bench Raul Wilson or Ekitike, I would bench. So to bench one, probably Ekitike, I guess. Also thinking of starting Dubravka over Raya. What do you recon? I'm going to start Raya over Dubravka basically because I think that the fixture for Burnley is better, Man United at home, than it is for Arsenal, Liverpool at home. But I just can't see Burnley keeping a clean sheet against Man United, honestly. They are that bad, really. So in that case, I'm just going to hope Arsenal are going to keep a clean sheet. Talking about FPL. If we talk about real life, I just hope that Liverpool are going to win 5-0 against Arsenal, but probably that's not going to happen. I have Rodon and Richards on the bench, so I have to play Virgil. It is worth it to make transfer out Virgil for Everton defender. Probably not, I think. I don't think that's worth it because you're going to transfer an Everton defender who is going to have a nice fixture this week, but they're going to play against Aston Villa next game week. And if you're going to keep Van Dijk, he's going to have a terrible fixture this week against Arsenal, and he's going to play against Burnley in game week 22. So I don't think that's worth making that move. If we talk about 2 game weeks, I think it's worth to just keep Van Dijk instead of going for Tarkovsky, for an example. So yeah, play Anderson or Soboslai. Good evening, Dennis. Hi, Pojul. Thanks a lot for joining. You bought Kudus last week. Sorry about that. What an unlucky move, I guess. Switch him to Enzo. What are your thoughts? I like Enzo. I like Enzo for the future. Yeah. Did you get back your Twitter? No, sadly not. But yeah, I don't know. The answers I got from Twitter is that they can't help me to get my account because basically they can't prove that that was my account. And yeah, what can I do? I mean, he changed the man who hacked my account, changed the name, changed the email. So yeah, I can't really prove anything else. Good luck, Biplov Tapa. Thanks a lot. 43 likes. Thanks a lot, guys, for this stream. Really appreciated the support. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you're around here. It would be really much appreciated. Ekitike or Thiago, just play Thiago for sure. Yeah, okay, thank you. Good luck. Good luck, Jamie Stravik. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate the support. Hello, boss. When will you go for wildcard? Hopefully, I can delay the wildcard for a while. I'm not going to think about the wildcard. I think that my team still is okay. Now, Gaming 24 is going to be a nice window for anyone interested in using the wildcard, but I'm just going to wait to see more news about the double gamings, the blank gamings, and the plan is to delay the wildcard. Now, if at some point I'm just going to think, that's it, this team is horrible, I want to change all of my players, then yeah, I'm just going to use the wildcard, but I don't think that we're at that stage yet. Sakil Basan. I would play Thiago, Kerry Togno. Thanks, mate. Good luck for gaming. Thanks a lot, Tanuj Aurora, for joining the stream. Really appreciated. Fazi Sport. Good to see you again. Wildcard Gaming 24. As I said before, it's a nice window. It's a nice window. A lot of swings are going to happen in Gaming 24. But for me, as long as I'm going to be able to get someone like Bruno Fernandes, someone like Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, maybe a defender from Chelsea, I think that my team is okay. If I'm going to be able also to get Declan Rice, maybe, again, I think that my team is okay. What about Anderson versus Stach? I would play Anderson, I think, but it's really close. Both are pretty bad, I think. Now, Stach could be, again, is he guaranteed to start? Stach, because he was benched in some fixtures. He's on some set pieces for Leeds, but the fixture against Newcastle away is just really, really bad, I think. And Fulham at least are playing at home against Chelsea, so probably I would just play Anderson. Geta Advani, one to bench from Thiago, Voltemat, Enzo. One to bench. Uh, Now, what I would do probably would be to play Thiago and to play Voltemad, but that's how I would play it. I would take the risk with Voltemart because I just think that he's going to start. But if you want to play it safe, just play Thiago and Enzo and bench Voltemart if you think that he's not going to get good minutes. Same and me, same and Lee thought that decision this gaming. Want to send your team in your X but couldn't find you. Yeah, my old account was hacked, so make sure you follow me on the new one. It's the same name, Denis underscore FPL. You have the links to my socials in the description. And yeah, send me your team there. Rice or Rogers to play or to buy. For the long term, I think that Rice is better, probably better value. But to play this week, probably Rogers, I think. Ekitike or Van Dijk or Stach. To play, probably I would play Van Dijk, Apollo. Not using chips until I know those double gamings and blank gamings. Same Hellasvile. Who should I bench? Bowen, Nunez, Rogers, Timber. I have Gabriel Rice. You need to bench one of those. I'm going to give you my order, right, of how I would play those players. I would play Bowen first, then I would play Rogers, then Nunez, then Timber, probably. Kudus injury was fine because I own Collins and Thiago, so they saved me. Yeah, I guess, but it's still unlucky that he got injured after you bought him. Yeah, West Ham. Let me just. Um Anyone interested in Paqueta? This is the post from West Ham Instagram. Uh, Again, does that mean he's going to start? Probably, I guess. So I should bench Timber over Nunez, you think? I mean, you have Gabriel already. If you really think that Arsenal are going to keep that clean sheet against Liverpool, then you should just play Timber. But I think that Mateus Nunes, if we talk about them individually, right? Timber versus Liverpool, Mateus Nunes versus Brighton, I think that both are pretty attacking defenders. I would just go for Mateus Nunes probably because he has the slightly better fixture. But again, if you think that Arsenal are going to keep that clean sheet, just play Timber. Nothing wrong with that. Timber or Gabriel? Gabriel definitely is the best defender in FPL. Gabriel. Would you sell Saka for possible Enzo or Bruno Guimaraes upside? Handsome Ghost. Honestly, if I had Bukayo Saka in my team, probably I would just use him to buy Cole Palmer or Bruno Fernandes in the future. I don't think that is Bruno Guimaraes such a better pick than Bukayo Saka for this gaming. I'm not, again, definitely the fixture is better for Bruno Guimaraes, but I just think that I don't know. Thanks for following, guys, by the way, on my Twitter. Play Alderete or Senesi. I would play. If you have Thiago, I would play Senesi. If not, I would play Alderete. Hey mate, play Anderson or Virgil van Dijk. I would play Virgil van Dijk, I think. Start Sobo or Garner. Probably Garner. Brent, thanks a lot for joining. Thanks a lot for joining. Mate, can DM you. I'll tweet you instead. Yeah, no problem, Samuel. Just do that. Thanks a lot also, guys, for joining the stream. Really appreciate the support. Don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, if you enjoy the content, obviously. If you want to help the channel even more, also check the memberships if you would like that. But yeah, so I think that I need to finish my squad. We have 4 minutes till the deadline, so make sure you lock in your teams. I think that I'm going to bench Ekitike, although as a Liverpool fan, that doesn't make me that happy. I don't know. I think that I'm not going to take the chances. I'm going to start Lacroix. Let's see what you. So 34 votes. More people chose to play Alderete over Lacroix. I'm going to do again the opposite probably, and play the the player who has the home fixture. Ekitike to Thiago. I think that's okay, but again, it's easy for me to speak because I have Thiago. I know that Thiago scored a hat trick, right? Everybody is going to go crazy over him or anything else, but I think that if you can keep Ekitike for that fixture against Burnley Gaming 22, that's what you should do. But if that move is going to allow you to make another move, another upgrade, then maybe I would be tempted to do it. But just for the sake of it, Ekitike to Thiago, just one free transfer. I think that I would just keep Ekitike. Hi Noel Joe, how much points you had last gaming? 55 points I had last gaming thanks to Igor Thiago. Basically, no Thiago, play Senesi or Alderete. Share up. Yeah, I would play Alderete, I think. I would play Alderete. Share up. Squad depth is a problem though. Yeah. Again, if you're going to make another move and not just Ekitike to Thiago, then I can understand it because Ekitike again is not a guarantee to be available against Burnley anyway, but I think that he's going to be personally. Hello, FPL Denis. Thanks a lot for joining. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Iomide, with one free transfer, will you do Ekitike to Watkins or just roll and start one of Stack, Van de Berg, Cash, and bench Ekitike? I would just bench Ekitike, honestly, with one free transfer and roll. That's what I'm doing with my team. And I would play probably Matty Cash or probably Matty Cash. But again, your bench is not great, but I would just keep Ekitike for that fixture, honestly, against Burnley. Okay, so I need to finish up my squad. Yeah, this is how I'm going to play. Let me make sure it's saved. Now, guys, what's going to happen this gaming? Just be sure Virgil van Dijk is going to score in this gaming because this is the gaming I'm going to bench Van Dijk, and I can see that goal finally happening. So don't be surprised if Virgil van Dijk is going to score in this gaming. You heard it first here. Play Alderete or Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think that I would play Alderete because I just think that it's going to be a really tough fixture for Leeds playing against Newcastle away. So probably I would just play Alderete. But again, if you want to go for the upside, just go for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's on penalties, so you can't go that wrong with him. 47 likes. Thanks a lot, guys, for the support. this season. Make sure you lock in your teams. 30 seconds to go. Mate, you need help benching one from Dorgo, O'Reilly, or Timber, or Keane, or Semenyo. I would just play Dorgu. I would play also Keane for sure. So play Dorgu, play Keane, and play Semenyo. And that's it. And also play O'Reilly if you can then. But yeah, basically that's it. If you have yeah, make sure you lock in your team. Simon Lee, Dorgo, O'Reilly, Keane. Yeah, sorry I didn't have the time. Sorry I didn't have the time, and also I forgot to look at your team. I think that we are locked in. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining me on this stream. We're going to remain here to see the lineups for the next 15 minutes. And yeah, if you're leaving, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. You know the drill. Thanks a lot for being here with me on this stream. It was amazing. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching my content. Have a nice evening and good luck. Good luck. Hopefully, you're going to get a green arrow this game week. Yeah, I didn't see the tweet from you, Simon Lee. Now you're going to stay with me while I post. Uh, do, 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 do. Is there an emoji for roll? I could use this one, I guess. Why it's not working? That's funny. My vice captain is Cunha. Nice. Ooh. Okay, so everybody left the stream. Um, I mean, 50 likes. Thanks a lot, guys, for the support. Is anyone still here? Or you just left? Well, I'm going to continue my stream anyway. Who's playing tonight? West Ham. Oh, so tonight is just West Ham and Nottingham Forest, really? Okay, that's sad. Still here? Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Tunde. Uh, yeah, I guess we're going to stay here for a little while if we want to talk about something. I thought that there were more games tonight, but it's just West Ham and Nottingham Forest, so we're waiting for those lineups. Not a lot of people have players from West Ham. Again, maybe some have Paqueta Bowen, so yeah, let's see if Paqueta is going to start. Um, but yeah, other than that, should end the poll probably, right? Forgot about that. So yeah, I've gone against the crowd with playing like Ra instead of Alderete. Hopefully there's not going to be a big swing. Do you think four or five at the back will be the way forward in the second half of the season because of DEFCON? Maybe, but again, at the same time, in the second half of the season, who knows? Maybe some forwards are going to emerge. Maybe I don't know. Liverpool are going to play better again, and Ekitike is most likely going to get a lot of minutes, right, in the future. So at the moment, I don't think that he's worth the money, but who knows? Mateta could be an option at some point. If let's say an injury is going to happen to, and uh, I don't want any injury to any players, obviously, who are playing the Premier League. But if any injuries is going to happen to Wissa or Voltemart, suddenly the other one is going to become an option. At the moment, yeah, it's looking like you can go for Krupi Juniors, for Mane from Wolverhampton, and Erling Haaland because he's pretty much the best and only striker in FPL at the moment. And Thiago is still okay to keep, I guess. At that price, I think that he offers good value because he's on penalty basically, although he scored a hat-trick last game week from open play. Good luck everyone, good luck Carlos Vile, thanks a lot for joining. Same only, I kept Timber in bench and started Semenyo and hit save button, save, but just in that time deadline hit, so don't know what happened. I mean, good luck anyway, Sam only. Hopefully it's going to happen. Jeremy Baker, thanks a lot for joining also. Really appreciate the support. Zero players today. Yeah, same. Same here. Um, Same only. I'm just going to send you a DM, so I don't know. You can Hey Mitril, the deadline has passed, so sadly you can't make any more changes. Chaka or Voltemart, I would start Voltemart. I think I would risk it. Honestly, I'm not so hopeful for a green arrow this gaming, considering I have Soboslai playing against double Arsenal defense, Lacroix against Rogers. Yeah, overall not a great matchup for my team, I would say. Do you think he'll start though? I think yes, because surely he was benched in the last two fixtures, and I hope, and I think that he's going to start this one. But again, I could be wrong. I can't guarantee you that Voltemat is going to start. I just think that Visa started the last two game weeks in quick succession after a long injury. I think that he needs a rest, and I think that this would be a nice opportunity to just start Voldemort basically. So that's just my gut feeling, saying that Voldemort is going to start. But yeah, I could be wrong, definitely there. Mithril. Honestly, as a Liverpool fan, this gaming is going to be so bad because in FPL, yeah, it would be nice for Gabriel and Raya to keep a clean sheet, but hopefully Liverpool are going to beat Arsenal. So if that's going to happen, at least I hope Szoboszlai could do something, maybe a penalty, maybe an assist from a corner, who knows? But yeah, if Liverpool can beat Arsenal and Gabriel to score 3 goals and Raya to save a penalty, that I'll take it also. I'll take that also. Uh, yeah, we should get the lineups real soon. Also, guys, make sure you follow me on socials if you want, since we're waiting for the lineups. My old account, if you don't know, was hacked. Um, so I made another one on Twitter, sadly, but it is what it is. This is the guy. If you want to block him or I don't know, unfollow him, report him, that would help. This is my old account. My posts are still there, so I'm not sure this guy what's really doing with it. But yeah, really, really weird situation. If I was, I don't know, Andy from Let's Talk FPL, I could understand for someone to hack my account, but yeah, to hack my account, 800 followers, is just a sad situation. Okay, so let's go to the West page. And refresh it. Paqueta is starting for anyone interested. Paqueta Bone Tati or Tati, the new signing for West Ham. I think that he's starting also. He's a striker, right? So yeah, no surprises other than that. Potts is on the bench, sadly. Yeah, no surprises here. Paqueta is starting, which is huge for the owners. He's on penalties. Bone is not going to be on penalties, so yeah, Paqueta is starting. And if we go to Nottingham Forest, if you have players from Nottingham Forest, Williams, Murillo, Milenkovic, Eina, all these players are starting. Igor Jesus up front. Also, by the way, what happened to what happened to Chris Wood? I think that he's injured, right? But yeah, not a lot of surprises here either. Yeah, okay. I think that this is it, guys. Thanks a lot for joining. This was my team for Gaming 21, right? Yeah, for Gaming 21. Thanks a lot for joining me today. Really appreciate it. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button on your way out. I hope that everyone is going to get a nice game week in FPL. Good luck. Hopefully, you're going to get a green arrow. And yeah, have a nice evening, everyone. Back to work. If you're going to work, yeah, have a nice week. Thanks a lot for joining. You're going to see from me. I think that we're going to have a really quick break from FPL. It's going to be an FA Cup in the weekends. So yeah, I'm going to get back to posting the regular content, not just my team selection for the gaming. Thanks a lot, Tunde. Thanks a lot, Jeremy Baker, Mitril, Simon Lee, Herlos Vile, Sharap. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it. Have a great day. And yeah, I'm going to see you next time. Bye.